back on track with the figurine. We shall see. You can watch the show over there as well. Just want to update you on the injury front today. One, the usual names, okay, Trey Smith, Snead, Tranquil not practicing. Still Mansour Delaney, the yellow non-contact. The update we're going to be waiting on after practice today is around Nick Bolton. From our tent over here, I looked up, I don't know, Cody, maybe like 20 minutes ago, and all of a sudden Nick Bolton was in the front of a cart leaving the practice field. So that doesn't mean it's serious, doesn't mean it's not serious, who knows, but starting linebacker in the front of a cart at the very beginning of practice, you don't want to see that. So that's something we'll be waiting maybe to get an update from Dave Tobe after practice, because he's the coach that's scheduled to speak. So maybe we get an injury update hopefully on that. But I have not seen Nick Bolton return. We've been looking all over the field. So that is going to be one to watch. They're already down Drew Tranquil, who continues to be out with back spasms. Boss is back, but he had an injury. They can't afford to have any bit of absence from Nick Bolton. So hopefully this is a very minor thing. Maybe, who knows, it could be the heat. It could be a million things.
Front of the cart, usually a pretty good sign. It is obviously quite hot out here. They just ran 11-on-11 drills. Tyquan Thornton caught a deep pass a couple of plays ago. They just did a running back screen to Kenneth Walker, a play that has been completely eliminated from their offense the last couple of years, other than maybe just some swing passes to Brashard Smith last season. But, yeah, I mean, I was trying to look out again, Gold, during the 11-on-11. I don't think see Bolton.
No, he's not out there. So now I didn't actually see him go up the hill, but he was in a cart, so my guess is they took him up the hill. And I doubt we'll see him return to practice today. So hopefully, honestly, hopefully it's something related to the heat. Hopefully his stomach's bugging him. We've had all kinds of stuff before, Cody, where, actually he just had stomach was bugging him and he was out the rest of practice.
I'm not even running around. I sit out in the heat long enough and I start to feel a little ill.
It's a little muggy today. It's a little muggy up here today.
And a severe lack of wind maybe is certainly not helping at least a portion of it. It's interesting because with linebacker, and I know that that's a thin group and you and I both accept that, that's something I know it's like, okay, it's a unit I got to be careful of. But I had a hard time in a small group of people clearly answering this question, so I'm curious what everyone's answer is. Genuinely, if I just asked you right now, someone's like Ian Rappaport, who's up here at camp, and Drew Rosenhaus, some of these guys, if I asked these national guys what they thought, what do you genuinely think is the strength of the Chiefs? What are they best at? Right now, what are the Chiefs the best at doing? It's not an easy answer.
No, we have an answer what we think it should be.
Yeah,
but we don't know definitively.
But we don't actually know. We don't actually know that that's the answer. I can't give you. Usually they're pretty good at scoring defense, but like new defensive line, maybe thin linebackers, young secondary. We know Trent McDuffie. It's like I don't think we actually know the answer in any way.
This goes back to the overall thing of the theme of the offseason for me, which has been this roster and where they're at in compared to their peers. Not that their peers like Baltimore don't have questions. Not that the Chargers don't have questions, not that the Bills don't have questions, but when you look at the Chiefs roster, there are clear areas that they were not able, in my opinion, to address all in one offseason. It's why it's kind of still this build back up over the next year or so to get back to clearly being one of the dominant teams. That doesn't mean they're not a playoff team. It doesn't mean they can't win games. But when you ask that question, it is somewhat problematic when it's not definitive. I think the answer very quickly is going to be running the football. I actually think they're going to be very effective this year running the ball.
But that'll be the first time that was their strength in a while.
But I can't say that right now because none of us have actually seen that. We just expect it. And basically, with the offensive line talent, with the money they spent on Ken Walker, there's no excuse for it not to be.
What's crazy is by the end of the year, the answer could be offensive line, offense in general, right?
And you're eliminating the obvious, which is, quarterback's the strength. We're eliminating the obvious here.
Well, I guess if you're just that's narrowing it down, I guess, to its simplest form. They had him the last couple of years,
because the text line is full of quarterback is why I said that.
No, and I understand why that is your instinctual answer. But, I would say if we asked this about almost any other team in the league, right? All right, what's the Denver Broncos' strength? Offensive line. They got a really good offensive line. They can bully people in that regard. Last year, I would have said offensive and defensive line. The trenches is what their strength is, right? And with the Chargers, I think they got a similar problem as the Chiefs because it's not the defensive line. It might be their offensive line if their tackles actually stay healthy for the first time. It's not their wide receivers, not their running back. This says something about more teams that either are unknown or less talented typically. The strength of the Seahawks, I can answer that. The Rams, I can answer that. The Patriots, I can answer it. For a number of teams in the NFC and the AFC, I have an answer to what is the thing that you do best and you plan on forcing on other teams in the way you're doing. Are you going to lock them down a corner, get to the quarterback, block like nobody's business, run it better, deep passing game, some version of the game? What is the thing that you were the best at? Yes, Patrick Mahomes is a strength. There's no doubt. That's the single best thing that, like, I would say every time. Hey, are the Chiefs going to make the playoffs this year? Well, they do have Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, probably is usually the answer and a more than fair one to give. I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, a unit goes or a thing that they do, run the ball, pass the ball deep, guard in short coverage, stop the run. I don't actually know what the answer is. I don't know the thing that they do great yet, or if they have a thing they do great yet. It's a weird – I feel like I could have answered this question at any other time going into a season for the Chiefs. Up to this point, I would have had an answer for you.
Yeah, someone on the text line said the Chiefs never had a top 5 roster in football when they won their Super Bowls. You're a clown. I don't know why.
I'm not even saying I think the Chiefs are bad.
I don't know why that made you so angry. I would say in those years, while that might be correct, how about this year where I don't even think they're a top 8 or 9 roster in all of football? How about that? I don't think they're a top 4 roster in the AFC even.
It's implied.
There's a big difference to me this year.
I guess asking this question to me is not saying the Chiefs stink and the roster's no good and they have no chance of being successful. That wasn't, I guess, the point of when I was thinking about this yesterday and the other day. It was that I don't think they have a clear, defined thing. So, for instance, Drew Cincinnati Bengals. I know what they do well. They pass the ball. Like, they do a lot. They might do some other things poorly, but I know what they will throw it, and successfully, to T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. They might do a lot of other things wrong. They might miss the playoffs again. That doesn't mean they're a better team than the Chiefs. I would still bet that they finish with a worse record than Kansas City. But I know the thing they are going to try to win by doing. Right now, I do not know if the Chiefs' plan is to win by being elite on defense, being better on the defensive line, being a shutdown corner team. They just got rid of a number 1 corner, so probably not that. Wide receivers, who the hell do I know? Rice, Worthy, Cyrus Thornton, are they good? Are they mediocre? Are they? I just feel like it's a year of unknowns. This wasn't meant to necessarily say, the Chiefs stink because they don't have an answer to that question yet. I am curious what the answer to that question will be by week 7. How will they try to win by week 7? They'll have an answer, but how will they be trying to win by week 7?
I think week 7, as I think the run game is clearly going to be that. The question that the part that they really need to become a strength, honestly, is getting after the quarterback. If somehow by week 7,
I love it.
If you tell me by week 7 that they're effective at getting after the quarterback, that means things are going extremely well for them big picture this season. But I have major questions about their ability to do that consistently. We're all banking on Peter Woods and Tonga freeing up Chris Jones more than we are banking on Gelati and R. Mason Thomas just immediately taking another step forward.
Correct. And look, they could be – the thing is, though, even if the defensive line is noticeably better, as in Karlaftis and Chris Jones have bounce-back years, and those other guys are contributors, I don't see any universe in which that's the strength of the team. By week 7, I could see the running attack. I could see the passing attack. I could even see in a lot of ways, despite the fact they don't have Trent McDuffie, the secondary, because they have the number 6 overall pick, Noel Williams. They got a lot of bodies there. They got a potential of, like, putting together a unit just as long as safety play improves, and they added Alohi Gilman to that. Yeah. So I would think that safety play would improve from the year before. I think the 3 most likely answers are the one I mentioned. Secondary play being the strength, which it was last year, by the way. That's probably how they won more games than any other.
Don't you think that's unlikely, though? Given, we had Nate on yesterday, and he kind of said they're shifting, he thinks, and it makes sense based on their draft capital. Yes, they spent a 6th-round pick on Delane, but look at what they've done the last 2 off seasons. Defensive line. He thinks they're going to have to rely more on getting to the quarterback. That then helps your secondary, right? In the past, you're right. It has always been, hey, McDuffie and Jalen Watson, these guys, they're going to buy you some more, give you some more time to get after the quarterback. This year, it feels like your defensive line is going to have to get to the quarterback, so you're not asking some of those guys in the secondary right away to cover as well.
I think that'd be nice, but I still like the secondary group. Maybe more than most, I don't know. Yeah. And I also trust Dave Merritt to get those guys, and they are better than anyone in the league at turning over secondary groups and still having a really good one. I think the offensive line could be a strength.
Yeah.
I want to point out, I think that could be one of the ways they try to win is having a really good offensive line.
It should be. I'm with you. You and I were joking before the show off air that we were playing a clip from another – actually, I think it was a show on Westwood One. And one of their hosts was talking about how he thinks the Chiefs are going to have a bottom 10 offensive line. And I just don't – I don't get where this continued national narrative has come on the offensive line. It's almost as if they only watched the last month when they were down to their 3rd-string tackle, when they had a 3rd-string quarterback on the field, when they had Isaiah Pacheco who was unable to do anything productive anymore. It was, to me, that reason why folks are looking at the O-line. This offensive line, I'm not telling you it's going to be the best in football. It's a top 10 offensive line in football to me, I don't think there's much of a question, even if we think Jalen Moore is very average, if in fact he's the starting right tackle.
And I do think that there's a better than not chance that one of their strengths will be offense. Like, whether it be the running game using the passing game off the running game, just the combination of, I think that they will be a much better offense than they've been the last 2 years. I almost think it's impossible for them not to be, with the inclusion of Ken Walker and a real running back. I think offensive line, running back, you still have Mahomes, and I know last year's wide receiver room did not do a good job. We've pointed out the fact that Hollywood Brown led them, but that's also the part where they still haven't actually tried to execute this plan. Rashee Rice didn't play for a huge chunk of the year. Xavier Worthy played, but kinda. He's just a shell of a man out there running 5 routes for the rest of the year. Now, that doesn't explain why they didn't throw it to Tyquan Moore, and it never will. So I'm not going to count on him taking some big leap forward because they were unwilling to make that transition last year, even when it made sense to the rest of us. And I'm not going to assume Cyrus Allen's a major player in the offense yet until I see it a little bit. But it at least has potential, even if Cyrus Allen is just kind of a dude, like a 300-yard guy. And Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice are close to-ish expectation. With Ken Walker, that is a much better offense. They were the 9th or 10th scoring offense before Mahomes' injury, and that was with nothing working. They were the best EPA per play team last year for a huge chunk of the season with Patrick Mahomes as the starter. So you tell me that they're going to have most of those guys. I assume they're a top 5 offense, and that their way of winning will be try to score points. Is the 5th best or 6th best offense, scoring 26 points a game, and then just trying to hold down enough, I guess, to do it. Red zone offense, that's never been their strength, I don't feel like. I'm not confident enough to say that.
Shouldn't Ken Walker also be part of that equation, though? I mean, if we're talking about...
You'd think so.
I mean, I think Mahomes the other day spoke, and he kept mentioning number 9, and the biggest difference with this offense. It sounds so simple, but it with where the league is at now with running backs, and clearly the Chiefs finally recognize that by investing heavily financially in the running back position, that's the game changer. We can discuss, understandably so, the wide receiver room and the questions we have about Worthy, or the questions we have about is Cyrus Allen is going to be a guy that steps up and emerges, or can Rashee Rice stay on the field. Those are all real conversations. I still think the biggest change for this offense, for them to take the leap forward, for them to be more explosive, is not just that, hey, Xavier Worthy turns into a 800-plus yard guy. Sure, that would be great.
The Ken Walker.
But it's that Kenneth Walker just gives you what you expect from what I think is a top 10 running back in football, maybe towards the back half of top 10. But
1,000 yards, 1,200 total.
Yes, and it's so noticeable. I can't wait. Maybe we'll have to wait till Denver. I don't know if we'll see him in preseason on Saturday or not, Cody. We'll find out tomorrow from Andy about his plan for playing players. But if you've been up at camp, you've probably noticed it. It's just so obvious. It just looks different when Kenneth Walker has the football in his hands. It just looks so different from what they've had, whether it's cutting back effectively, the vision, all of it. We haven't seen that in years here.
No, it's noticeably different and has maintained that way throughout the entirety of camp. One thing we know we don't have looming over camp is potential suspensions for Rashee Rice, because they already admitted it. I will say, until Adam Schefter had sent it out yesterday, I didn't think about the fact that there were active NFL players who were awaiting suspensions. He said players who were awaiting potential discipline from the NFL are Rams wide receiver Puka Nacua and Packers running back Josh Jacobs. Those feel like important players to be missing for the early part of the season for a number of teams. What was Puka Nacua's for again? That was what was so interesting about it, is like, are they really going to suspend him for some of the off-field substance abuse is what I believe it was like.
That was the remarks, and then he bit.
And there
were some allegations.
He bit a woman, I believe.
Yeah, there were some assault allegations.
And then he went to rehab and all this other stuff, right?
He had an eventful offseason.
He did.
There was some.
He very did. He went on with some streamers he probably shouldn't have and all that stuff.
Now that wouldn't result in a suspension, but yes, he had some comments that were controversial, to say the least. On a certain
stream. That's doing him a service.
Well, I'm just trying not to get into it. Trust me, I have an opinion on it. We don't need to get into
doing him a favor.
All right, we don't need to get into his anti-Semitic comments.
Yeah, there it is.
How about that? But so look,
he claimed he didn't know we're anti-Semitic.
Right. Yes. Anyway, but so when it comes to Josh Jacobs, he's also hurt right now. On top of it, so there was a report yesterday out of Green Bay that he's a little banged up, going to miss at least a week or so of training camp for the Packers. And I don't know if we're talking for any of these guys long-term suspensions. Like, if Josh Jacobs gets suspended at all, if to me, it's like a 2-game suspension. I don't think we're the one that could be the longest suspension.
Though, they don't mess around with that. It's got a flat number.
And that's why Cooper, Jonathan Cooper, right?
Yeah.
Cooper in Denver, one of their talented pass rushers, his feels like if he gets suspended, could be much longer. Remember, we all know the Chiefs play the Broncos week 1, so
and
that's
play them
the
again
one.
in like week 7 or 8.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd miss both.
I don't think you would,
but he would potentially miss the first one unless I guess he appeals the first one and then he gets to play against the Chiefs and then
he'd miss the second.
It's one to
game
watch.
against the Chiefs,
Usually
maybe.
we start getting that, and maybe if we get Ian Rappaport on the show, he's here at camp. We talked to him before practice. He's going to try to maybe stop by today. That's to be determined. We can ask him about some of these looming suspensions. But you're right. It's kind of nice for once not to worry about the Chiefs having one, although I'll knock on wood here because there's still time till the season starts.
I mean, certainly August 12th is enough time to not get in trouble, right? A month?
Yeah, I don't want to say it because we've been through this before. I would think we're good, Cody. I would think we're good.
I do wonder, like the Puka Nacua one, because their wide receivers, absent that, can still play a little bit, but they've funneled and built their entire offense around what Puka Nacua does now.
Yeah.
And and they're stuck in a weird spot where it seems like there's some people around the Rams who seem to think that maybe they don't want to lock up Puka Nacua long term, or they're on the fence about it. Maybe because of some of this off-season stuff, maybe not. But it's like that part of it always comes into play, too, where he'd want to, I would think, when we're talking about like Rashee Rice keeping those clean.
And a little update on the Nick Bolton situation. We mentioned we saw him in the front of a cart and not practicing really after the very beginning of practice today. Matt Derrick just quote tweeted my photo and said, Bolton banged up his right knee yesterday, appeared in a lot of pain. He waved off trainer's den, then still practiced. So he's thinking maybe the knee was acting up again today. Could he be receiving treatment for bruiser soreness? That's speculation, but that would make sense. That would also mean can't be all that serious. So that would be the good news if that's the case. But enough to where he's where he's not out here with 11 on 11s right now.
Yeah, but if they're treating it like a number of other, which I think is a change of pace from the injury stuff, which is they've done a lot of come down here, get a sweat in, go get some treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've done that for a number of injuries this year, whether it be Rice or Gelati or some of these other guys. So they haven't like come down here, Xavier Worthy, Cyrus Hound, like you get a little work in and then go up the hill while they treat the shin, treat the knee, treat whatever. So maybe it's a portion of that, but we'll keep an eye out for it. Obviously, post-practice, they might give us a little bit of information. They typically do give a little injury update after practice, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. It is time to get a little weather update from Cloudy.
With your training camp forecast, I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a chance and crazy hot temperatures yet again today. Heat advisory in effect. Highs around 98 with a 100% chance of swamp ass. So hey, Gold, since you're going to get your sweat on just sitting there today, you can probably skip out on the gym, brah. I'm meteorologist Cloudy with a chance for Cody and Gold on 96.5 The Fan.
All right.
Touche, Cloudy.
It is very warm, and
it's
unfortunately, yes, sweat is everywhere. And it's not the same as going to the gym, though. I'll still have to go tonight.
No, it's not the same?
Now, it's changed my whole routine, though, because when we're in studio, I like to go by 2:30, 2:45, and then I'm done. But the last thing I want to do after being outside is immediately go home and go straight to the gym. So I've been going later, and then I've been going like at 8:30 at night.
So you've been doing 3 showers?
Yes.
Oh, this is no good.
Yes.
This is no good. You
What do you
almost have to
mean?
go right away. 3 showers in a
Did
day
you
is
see
too
Drew's
many,
Instagram
Drew.
yesterday? Drew was running out in the 100 degrees. I'm sure he had a shower
Yeah, I went on
right
a 4-mile
after.
run yesterday.
That's idiotic.
Actually,
So
no.
I bet he felt
actually
great.
felt
I bet he
really
felt
good.
great after.
It felt really good, actually.
Now the heat sucks, but there is a sense when you're done exercising, whether it's outdoor or whatever, like
It's
you
called
feel,
dopamine.
yeah,
I'm familiar
you feel
with
great.
it. Endorphins, you know.
Yeah.
But it's too hot. So no thank
Now
you.
I will say, running outside 4 miles and when it was 100, you couldn't wait till 8 o'clock when it was only like 88 degrees. You had to do it when it was 100 plus. Drew, you're gonna get yourself sick.
I mean, I stay hydrated. I'm good.
Do you? Do you have one of those like Camelback things?
No, he's shirtless probably.
No, I go on the run and then I hydrate after. I get the body.
I don't think
I
it's
get my
safe to
body
just
armor
say-
IVs. I get the flash IVs, and I'm good.
Man,
Oh, the liquid IV stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think running 4 miles in that heat with no
That's-
liquid while you run is a safe method.
That's tough.
It
Hey,
feels
there
like
were
an
other
electrical
people.
shock to the system. No, I'm not
There
a
were other
doctor,
people
so I
out there
guess
with me.
I could be wrong. Were you running with people?
Oh, you're in
No.
a run club now too?
No, I'm not. No, I'm
Oh.
not in a run club. I'm saying there were other people out there running.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
it
I
was.
doubt that.
Yeah.
There's something
I saw
about
it.
about exercising.
you,
and
though.
just
4 miles, man.
sweating your tail
That's
off
good.
is a lot of fun.
No, that's
It's just
impressive.
great.
That's very good. Someone says, Someone says you can say swamp ass. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
When I first heard Cloudy
say that.
When I first heard Cloudy say that, I did die
you
laughing.
Can say that.
That was hilarious.
No, Cloudy with a good report today.
Very good.
Good report today.
Yeah, he was just letting us know it's going to be hot as hell, and that maybe Alex could skip the gym today. But it sounds like that's not on the table.
People keep guessing. Someone says they think Cloudy is Logan Weber. It is not. Someone says JT. I think it's him. Now that he was on your show, it is not.
I think there's only been a couple people who have gotten it right before when guessing.
I don't know if anybody's guessed right. So
I think there was like maybe one or two.
We never acknowledged it though, so we still haven't acknowledged who it is.
People are saying Aaron Ladd. Nope, it's not Aaron Ladd, our old friend. It's not our old producer Serta. Nope, someone thinks it's me. Definitely not me. Why would I make one insulting myself?
Yeah.
You just make fun of everyone else.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks to Cloudy for an update. We'll have another one next Monday. That's our last one this week, I believe, from Cloudy. Coming up next, guys, let's talk more about the new players and what that means for the start of the season. And how about Tyrann Mathieu? He was talking up Cyrus Allen on his podcast yesterday. I think we should listen to that and hear what he has to say next.
What's up, KC? It's Carter Jensen. You're listening to Cody and Gold on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Man, I should not have tried to handle this car wreck stuff myself.
Why?
Insurance keeps calling. I gotta find a body shop, rental car, doctor's appointments. Now they're asking for a bunch of other things.
Dude, why are you trying to do this yourself?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
That's literally what they do. You worry about getting better. They deal with the insurance, the paperwork, the calls, all of it.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
Listen up, guys. Do you think you know who's going yard today? Well, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to prove your baseball expertise with Daily Dingers. Here's how it works. Make your pick on who's going to hit a home run, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a shot at extra winnings. Now, when your favorite star goes deep and knocks it out of the park, it'll feel that much sweeter. Daily Dingers is free to play, and you can lock in a pick every day of the baseball season, and that's why FanDuel is your home runs. Get ready to play your game. Make your first pick at FanDuel.com/local. One more time, that's FanDuel.com/local to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's going yard today. FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issue with non-withdrawable profit boost. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Don't let garage door problems sideline your summer plans. Renner Garage Door is ready to tackle repairs, tune-ups, and replacements. Get your free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Yeldon, A-Bar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoor.com forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
You work hard, you pay your bills, but with credit cards, higher gas and grocery prices, you're making the payments, but not getting ahead. This is James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak Lending. Golden Oak can help you refinance, consolidate bills, and free up monthly cash flow. Call today for a free mortgage checkup. There's never a charge to talk with us.
Golden Oak Lending, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937. Call 913-890-GOLD.
Red Eddie. Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel.
Let's go! One team, one goal!
Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
Men, erectile dysfunction can affect much more than just your sex life. It can create stress in relationships, leading to feelings of anxiety or embarrassment, and impact your overall confidence and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. and we specialize in treating men's sexual health issues to help men find solutions that fit their individual needs. ED is a frustrating condition, and many men suffer for years without seeking treatment. But the good news is that if you're like most men, we have the answer. Our licensed medical providers will evaluate your specific medical situation and recommend a plan designed for you. And these advanced medical therapies work, with treatments having success rates of well over 90%, which means you and the one you love can have great sex again without the fear and worry of ED. You can even last up to an hour or more, and you may just find you're performing like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, we're back here in St. Joe. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp with you. Drew Nixon back in Kansas City producing the show in studio where I'm guessing it's like 68 degrees and feeling pretty good.
Probably.
Right about now. We're under after practice. Shamari Connor going to stop by. We're also going to hear from Travis Kelce. He will be at the podium speaking to the media. We'll get a feel from him on how camp is going as they get set for a preseason. I doubt he's playing Saturday, but I mean, he'll be asked if he is, and he may not know the full answer. There's no reason for Kelce to play at all during preseason. At all.
He has, though, in the past, so I kind of assume him and Ken Walker might play on Saturday. Maybe it won't be more than a handoff or two.
Ken Walker makes more sense only just because he hasn't. I mean, this is brand new to him still for this team.
Yeah, I just think that Andy makes his players play.
Okay.
And maybe it won't be much. And look, Jared Wiley left practice early today, up on the front of the cart, same as Nick Bolton.
Another player, yeah.
So something to keep an eye on at least there. But like my guess is that he'll get maybe a couple of snaps. But that might be something we just save for Andy on Thursday. My guess is that it'll be more about Travis's expectation for the season, some of the wedding stuff, and maybe a little bit of everything. But we'll see. We'll see if he actually plays.
Our training camp coverage presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Before we get to some comments from Tyrann Mathieu on his own podcast, and Tyrann was here at camp, by the way, a few days. He had some really promising comments to get you excited more about Cyrus Allen.
Yes.
But during the break, right before we came back, we were talking more about Drew running, and then, of course, Cloudy with a Chance was giving me a hard time about going to the gym. Drew made a comment to you. He wants us as a show to team up
Cody
and
needs to
all
get
get
in the gym.
healthy.
Everybody's
He says you're
exercising
the
at the
only
station
one.
more
He says
now.
you're the only one.
I'll take the insults aside, which is just
I
okay,
wasn't
you're the only one
insulting
on
you.
I'm just here's the moment of honesty. Y'all have 50 times more time in your life to go running 4 miles than I ever do. Drew, I couldn't find time in my day to run 4 miles if I wanted to. Unless I ran at 3 a.m. or 11 o'clock at night, and my ass ain't going to do it. No chance. I once described a regular day to Alex like what a Tuesday looked like in my life, and I think he wanted to die. He was like, what? I said, oh, yeah. We get done with the show at 2:30. I get home at 3. I work on the show. Then at 4 o'clock, the kids get off the bus. I take Ruby to dance. Then I come back and I either help my wife cook dinner or she cooks, then we eat. Then bath time. Then you got to clean up after dinner. By the time it's all done, Drew, at 9 o'clock, when the day's wrapped up, you know what? The last thing I want to do is run for 4 miles. I'll get on the bike when I get time. I got an exercise bike at home. I get on there a couple times a week. I get a little exercise in. But 4 miles? Daily gym? There ain't no time. Unless I want to get divorced.
I don't go every day. I go every other day.
We'll take
Depends
the exercise bike. Yes.
It depends. It
Maybe
depends
my
on
kids
what
are
we're
older,
doing.
I
But
guess.
yeah, I get it. Hey, Drew was. I haven't tried to pressure you at all about this for the last 6 months.
I was just trying to encourage.
Drew was trying to encourage you.
I didn't know that it was like that out here in the Cody Tap streets. I didn't know that you had no time.
Cody Tap streets.
Honestly, and some of this is like really small, but you don't realize it until, and everybody feels a different kind of busy. It wasn't until I got really busy where I'm like, I don't even know how you guys spend your time. Like, genuinely, Drew, I think, what the hell does Drew do from like 3 to 11 o'clock? All the time in the world. How does he even fill all that time? Just sit. Is he making beats? Is he going for 48-mile runs? Genuinely don't even know.
Busters? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how, I know how my time gets filled up.
You don't even have enough time to take a nap. That's crazy.
No, never. I haven't taken a nap in 10 years. I would venture a guess. And now my wife's out of town for the last couple of days, so now it's even less. Now I leave straight from camp and go pick up the kids at the in-laws. And then and we're right back into the game. That doesn't include anything like a birthday party. Like my kid's birthday's on Sunday. Desmond turns 8 on Sunday.
There you go.
On Friday or Saturday, I have to get on there. I got to make a cake for his birthday.
Now, here's where I'll say, and I understand the immediate response will be money. Here's where I think you could also help yourself out. Most people don't make their own birthday cakes. Just go buy a damn cake. Save yourself an hour. You want more time? Save yourself some time. You're telling us you don't have
That's
any time.
something I try to do for your kids.
For sure, but there's other stuff. You always are talking about baking. You're spending 3 hours baking something. You could save some time.
It's not 3 active hours,
I'm just saying. You could save some time there if you weren't doing that all the time.
I guess, but I got to cook and eat. I can't just afford fast food the rest of my life.
I'm not saying fast food.
I'm feeding 4 people.
I'm talking about where you're making like cinnamon rolls or you're hand-making pies and you're hand-making this
more
and
around
that.
the seasons probably than that.
You can
I don't
save
get as
yourself
much of
some
that done
time.
during training camp, I'll say. But cooking and stuff, it's I can't afford to.
No,
you
I
guys could
understand
just
that.
pop by the old Chipotle. You know what Chipotle would cost for 4 people? Do you know what it costs the
How
family?
much? Cost you guys
$50
over $50
or something. It'd be insane. We would take the old family out to Chili's.
Yeah.
Screw eating tonight. $70.
I'm not talking about your normal
Crazy.
your normal meals.
Yeah,
I'm saying when you're hand making the chocolate chip cookies or whatever instead of just doing the damn slice or whatever.
I made cookies the other day, but those took me 20 minutes.
Okay.
It didn't take me, and that,
Drew's just
maybe
trying to
less.
help you out. Drew just wants you to.
I appreciate that,
Drew wants you to join him on the runs. That's all.
I'm not running. I got feet problems. My club foot, hell no. I can't run. Run ain't it. Swim, I've done.
Someone says, Cody,
Swimming
if
is
the baking
great
relaxes
exercise,
you,
Cody,
they
yeah.
said, Cody, just take some gummies and relax that way instead.
Someone said Gold is in for a rude awakening if he has kids.
I will also say this goes back to different people too. I've gotten in big exercise habits before too, where you try to make time, and I have a bike at home.
Yeah.
Where I was doing it more regular and all those things. It doesn't give me the feeling it gives you, Drew. Same as these people I love mowing. It relaxes me. I hate it, and it makes me want to die. I hate it. I hate every second I'm in the grass. I wish for death every second I'm doing it. It doesn't relax me. I hate it. And so, some things, exercise is not that strong. But it doesn't, I don't get done and be like, wow.
Yeah.
I did it. I think, thank God that's over and I can do something I'd rather be doing.
Oh, I don't like running, but I do. After the gym, I like going to the gym. I don't like running outside or anything. Absolutely not. Absolutely
running
not.
outside.
Absolutely
And
not.
it
Anyway.
did like today. That's the other part.
Let's get
couldn't do it.
Let's get back to camp. Practice going to be another long one today, and then tomorrow no pads, and it'll be shorter. And that means around 11:25, 11:30, kind of like yesterday, we expect to hear from Travis, expect to have Shamari Connor stop by. But Tyrann Mathieu was up at camp all last week. He was kind of being an assistant coach. I don't know if he was officially part of the fellowship program, but he at least was up here for a little bit. He's not here today, in my understanding, or this week. And so he got a glimpse of not only this defense, Cody, but the offense, these wide receivers. And on Tyrann's own podcast yesterday, he was talking about Cyrus Allen quite a bit, and this will get you even more excited.
One of our homegrown kids, Cyrus Allen, I mean, he's just taking it by storm, bro. Like, Pat loves him. Coaches love him.
That's crazy.
And he was banged up a little bit. He had, I think it was like a shin bruise or something like that.
Yeah.
So he didn't really practice while I was there. But me and him had a bunch of conversations. Like, and he asked all the right questions, too, especially as a youngster, man. Like, how do I stay in this league? Like, what do I do? Like, what was your routine?
Right. Yeah.
How often you go back home?
Yeah.
Right? And I told him that's one of the things that, I had to work on early on was that, for us in Louisiana, man, like we normal. We treat each other normal, right? But, I mean, once you make it and you cross over, like, you're no longer normal.
You're no longer normal,
The
dog.
stuff you did 10 years ago,
Can't do it
in
no
your
more.
mama house,
Right.
you can't do that anymore.
So that was Tyrann Mathieu talking about conversations he had with Cyrus. Cyrus truly just trying to pick the brain, it sounded like, of Tyrann Mathieu, just about even non-football stuff. Like, how often do you go back home? Like, how often should I be going back home? How do I handle this kind of stuff? He did acknowledge, though, that I guess the days Tyrann was up here, he might have been hurt for most of those. So he admitted some of the first-hand knowledge, but he said and Tyrann Mathieu was out here talking to Brett Veach. He was talking to Andy. He was talking to Spags. So he was getting the scoop on how they're feeling about Cyrus Allen.
I got to say, we have to at least assume at this point that, like, normally, Gold, I would say, what are a reasonable expectation to put on a rookie? And you and I'd say, for a rookie, R. Mason Thomas, 3.5 sacks, good season. You did it. You've accomplished something and we could be there. I don't think we should be putting, and I don't think it's fair to just call this like a redshirt year like we would have done with Royals or these other guys. I think it is more than fair, based on the way the Chiefs are talking about him, to put a real number on Cyrus Allen and to call a number below that essentially a slightly disappointing rookie season based on the way they're hyping the guy.
Once we know his role, though, right? I mean, it's very hard for me to sit here and say, hey,
it is hard to know the number
400 yards isn't enough or 300 yards is too little when we don't know what the snaps are looking like. And is he officially number 4 on the depth chart? That's my guess by the time they get to week 1. So on any other team's number 4, what's realistic? Now, maybe we want to overinflate it because we're excited and he has a different role than other number 4s. Maybe even though he's number 4 on the depth chart, he's going to be asked to do some things differently, and that allows him to get on the field even more. But it's very difficult. Like today, if you're asking me my expectation, I think last week you asked me over under 395 on Allen. Would I lock it in or whatever? And I was like, absolutely, as of right now, because
you said anything over 299, essentially, you would take.
Yeah, right now.
I think anything
below.
I'll say right now, anything below 350, I'd be disappointed in. And I'm not even saying he is, and I understand, the 5th option on offense, right? Even if they really like the guy, he's below Rice, former first-round pick, former second-round pick, Rice, former first-round pick, Xavier Worthy, all-time greatest tight end, Travis Kelce. And I think that they already have an established role and know what they have in a guy like Tyquan Thornton, who does something completely different than Cyrus Allen anyway. And so when they put these things together, I do think that they have that's why, like, 350 to me, if he ends up having 199, then I'm not going to let people come into training camp next year. It's like, oh, no, now's his year.
Sure.
Unless there was an injury or some reason that held him back. I'm not going to let you redo the hype train if he isn't a productive player immediately.
Their 5th wide receiver had 438 yards last year.
Yeah, it's not crazy. That's why I'm saying, like, anything over, like, I want to say 4, but I feel like having not even seen him play in a single preseason game, that's maybe a bridge too far. And that's why I ended up settling on 350. My actual in my brain answer is like 400. I think he should finish with those like D-Rob rookie year numbers. McCole Hardman. They are going to spread it out a little bit, and he should. And the 4th wide receiver does have a role in the offense. Maybe not a major role, but at least a role in some capacity. And so those things, it just kind of changes it a little bit. But look, the fact that he's asking the right questions, he's taking it serious, all these other, I like that. On top of looking good while he's out here, what's not to like? I told you in the blitz period yesterday, they tried to throw to him like 3 straight times. They do nothing but try to get Cyrus Allen involved, and will continue clearly to try to get Cyrus Allen involved at any point during camp. So we'll continue to monitor it, obviously. Aren't you excited? I mean, like, I know tomorrow or Friday when we do the who do we want to watch, everyone's going to – Cyrus Allen can be included in that.
Yes,
I think we all know we don't want to see Cyrus Allen.
He'll be very high on the list, I think, absolutely. Cyrus Allen will be there. I think there's going to be people that want to see Emmett Johnson, who we had on the show earlier this week, on the offensive side. Defensively, again, it's any of the young players, any of the rookies. I mean, I think everybody wants to see what R. Mason Thomas looks like on a football field in live action. I think, people want to see what Peter Woods looks like in a football game, not just out on a practice field. It's the obvious. People would have loved to have said Mansour Delane, but yet again, here we are as expected. He is still in the yellow non-contact jersey. And if you listen to the show yesterday, Brett Veach was on a national radio show, and he mentioned next week maybe. Even I think Nate was a little skeptical on that, but that was what Brett Veach mentioned. If everything went perfect, that maybe Mansour Delane is out of the yellow non-contact next Tuesday or Wednesday.
I think we should be hoping for game action preseason game number 3. I think that is maybe not the most optimistic, but one of the most optimistic timelines you can realistically have. He can say 7 to 8 days, but, to him, that's no difference between 9 and 10, 11 and 12. For us, it feels like a lot because you see them every single day out here in practice, and those things certainly do change it a little bit. But, of course I'm worried about Mansour, but I know I'm not going to see him in game 1, so he's not going to be the person we do it. Speaking of all the other players we might be interested in seeing, we'll eliminate some people from Camp Darling Island later on in the show. At least one, maybe 2. We'll see. We could just do double eliminations
wait after
early
the
next week until we can actually see some of these guys play in a game and the decisions start getting a little bit harder. But Cyrus Allen, if he's going to win this thing, he's got to, show up in a preseason game all the same. That way, at least we're still up there. I will say, all these new players like Ken Walker, Alohi Gilman, all the rookies, the amount of guys are going to count on. Is it weird that I'm bracing a little bit for a slow start to the season when I know they can't really afford one? At least, maybe not from a win-loss perspective, Gold, but I think things are going to look a little clunky maybe for the Chiefs in the early going. They have a brand-new secondary, a lot of new wide receivers, a whole new running back room other than Bashard Smith, who didn't play with any of those guys last year and got the least amount of touches in the running back room last year. Is it going to take a few weeks? And Patrick's not going to have a chance to work with those guys. Is it going to take a little bit to iron out some of this stuff or to expect a bit of a slog to get into the season?
I think it's way more likely it's in the secondary than anywhere else. Like the communication aspect. When Mansour Delane is not able to be in practice fully with contact, how do you have the communication with your new teammates in the secondary? How are you guys on the same page? That's the kind of stuff that worries me. Busted coverage because of miscommunication. That kind of stuff seems like that could be an issue early in the year. I'm not worried about the run game. Like, you're right, it's a brand new running back room. That's a good thing in this case.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more about the secondary. And I know you said it wasn't about wins, but if you think they're off to a slow start with some of those guys, well,
the schedule's light enough that they can get some wins against some bad teams.
They can't afford as a team to get off to a slow start. We've talked about this schedule over and over and over. They have to put a lot of those wins in their back pocket in the first 2 months of the season, because we know, not that they can't improve as a team, but we know from weeks about 12 or 13 on, it is brutal. It's weeks like Rams, Patriots, Bills, Bengals, essentially back to back to back to back to back. It's a brutal stretch there. So you gotta get out to a 5-1 type of start. Obviously, you'd love to be undefeated, but you can't afford a 3-3 start. It can't be anything like that. I think the worst case you can be is 4-2 in the first 6.
But I've seen them be a little sloggy and still get wins, Like, it doesn't look as pretty or it doesn't come together the same way.
But
because the easier part of the schedule is a little bit earlier, there are worse times to have a bit of a slow start.
Yeah,
and more schedules.
I'm just saying they can't have an impact. They can't have an impact the overall result early on. They can't afford that. And when you have so many new pieces and rookies they're going to count on this year more than they ever have, if you're telling me you think it's going to be a slower start, well then it would make me think that you think there's a chance you don't expect them to get off to a good start record-wise either.
Yeah.
Just because they're counting on so many of those pieces. That's all.
I think that there's some of it is like they're good at winning ugly. The 15-1 season is maybe a perfect example of that. That team did not play particularly well in a number of games. And maybe it was because of all the one-score games or whatever. But they went 15-1 in a year where I didn't think they really clicked till much later in the year. And I just feel like there's too many pieces to think it's going to just be humming. Game 1, they can run the hardest training camp in the world. Again, 3 new running backs out of 4. And last year's, you could say not all new wide receivers. nobody really played consistently last year. And so, like, the unit's still, like, learning itself and adding Cyrus Allen. Tight end group's the same, so I'll give them that. Offensive line group is nearly the same, although right tackle being a difference at least there. The defense is probably the unit I'm more talking about. A lot of new names on the defensive line, a lot of new names. No more, like, different names contributing in the linebacker core. A lot of new names in the secondary. I think it might go back to, I'm sure you remember, we've covered enough of these teams. One of the telltale signs of old Spagnuolo defenses was the first 6 weeks we made less judgment on them, Gold, because it always seemed a little rockier in the early going. And then all of a sudden they turned the screws and everything would fall into place defensively and they'd become shut down the second half of the NFL season. And Spags would carry that all the way into the playoffs and into Super Bowls, And so I wonder if on defense in particular, that's what we should anticipate, a slower build up.
That is definitely,
to what they are.
I mean, you're right. That was definitely the start of multiple years in the earlier Spags days. It hasn't been the last couple. The defense has gotten off to quick starts, but that was the MO before. It took till about week 6 for them to ramp up. And I will agree with you that the schedule allows you more of a ramp up defensively. My only thought is across the entire roster, they might be relying on new pieces / rookies for their entire team, not just one particular area. So how does that impact it? Look, week 1's a hell of a test. So that's the good and the bad. Would I rather the Chiefs open up at Arizona week 1? Sure. But also, man, we got to find out right away against a team that won 14 games, won the division, should have probably made the Super Bowl if you consider Bo Nix not playing in the AFC title game. You get that test right away.
Oh, yeah.
And it's against a couple decent receivers, too. Now, it's not Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, but Jalen Waddle and Cortland Sutton's not a bad wide receiver room to test your secondary. Their offensive line, maybe one of the best the Chiefs are going to see all year. You get that right away. Find out where you're at with Chris Jones and Tonga and Woods and R. Mason Thomas, et cetera.
They also, in fairness, they might surprise people with how they're running things offensively, and they might catch a few of these first teams off guard. They start going play action deep pass and be like, whoop, we have not been scouting the Chiefs looking like this in a while. Mm-hmm. Or like what the Chiefs look like with an actual running back. Those first few weeks might catch some people. They might score more the first few weeks, settle into a little bit as people adjust, and then have to do the secondary adjustment. It might be the mid part of the season offensively where teams make the first adjustment before the Chiefs get back on track. I wouldn't be surprised if those first couple of weeks they put up more points than you think if they really are a different offense and scheme.
Coming up in about 10 minutes, we'll get to some of the evaluations across the NFL. There was also a massive sale in the NBA today with the Los Angeles Lakers. So just a heads up, we'll get to that in 10 minutes. Also, Shamari Connor are going to join us after practice. I think they have some other obligations. It might be a quick one today, we're told, from Shamari Connor. So keep that in mind. But Travis Kelce going to speak at the podium as well. Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Did you guys see this Chris Berman video circulating?
Yeah, what's going on there?
Drew, have you seen this?
Yes, I have seen it.
What is this real? So I saw it actually from someone from our sister station in Pittsburgh, actually, Andrew Filipponi, and he quote tweeted it and said, "Did Chris Berman have ass removal surgery?" Because the video, it is very confusing. It looks like he's just like sagging his pants really badly. I think maybe. I'm not sure. It's bizarre. You have to see the video.
He goes to pull his pants up, though, and they don't go anywhere. So it's like, where's your waist at? Like
he has no, like, his butt is gone.
But how?
I don't know. I'm not sure. A doctor responded to the video and says, Ozempic, et cetera, are known to eat up the glute muscle. And I think he says Berman's lost some weight. He's referencing maybe he thinks Berman took some GLP-1s, and now you lose some of your rear end.
He lost some cake over Ozempic?
Maybe so.
Not some.
It reminds everybody of the meme of the dog that's standing up on his hind legs where he's fat up top and his legs are super skinny. That's what Berman looks like in this video. Yeah. Someone says he's got no back.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Oh, man.
I don't like it. Looks
I don't know. I
looks
don't know.
Generated.
What a legend, though. And then but Chris Berman, I thought the video was AI at first. Honestly, he was signing signing footballs in Canton for the Hall of Fame game. That's where the video came from. So it's from last week, but the video went viral like yesterday for some reason. I don't know. I miss Chris Berman at times. Not every little thing he did, but there's certain moments. When him and Tom Jackson were doing the highlight show, man, that was
Peak Sports Center.
NFL prime time. And I know they brought it back for a little bit on their app. It's not the same.
Didn't want it.
Back in the heyday, man, when there was no social media, when you couldn't go online to find clips, at 5:30 or 6:30 when the games are over, you'd flip over to ESPN and listen to him and Tom Jackson.
The music, too, in the background, obviously,
was
was peak. Yeah.
It was absolutely
It felt right
best.
for the time. Like, when you try to bring it back, it doesn't always feel right. That da-na-na-na, da-na, you know, like, it just means, like, if you're doing NFL countdown, if you're doing NBA, some age, like the NBC one, right, is aged okay. The NFL one didn't, I feel like, in some way.
Yeah.
And so when they try to just, like, recreate it, but with much older commentators, it just didn't feel right anymore. And so that part of it just felt a little bit different, I guess.
All right, coming up next, guys, let's talk about some of the evaluations for teams in the NFL and a massive sale by the L.A. Lakers plus Camp Darling Island right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus, a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
See, who didn't like that, huh? Who didn't like listening to this music? It always meant you were about to get highlights with great commentary from Chris Berman and Tom Jackson back in the day. We are back in St. Joe at Chiefs training camp. They got about another 20, 25 minutes or so in practice today. Last padded practice of the week, and then a light one tomorrow. Game on Saturday out at Arrowhead right here on 96.5 The Fan. Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. We are going to hear from Travis Kelce at some point this hour, we believe. Also going to hear from Khalil Benson. Nate Taylor's going to stop by. Shamari Connor going to join us one-on-one, although, heads up, we were told it's going to be short today. So they got some other obligations, I guess, or something. Well, you want to know the truth? NFL Network's here.
That's probably it.
So
and Drew Rosenhaus. Should we ask him if Tyreek signed in with the Chiefs?
I thought about it.
He represents 3 Chiefs players, some guy I've never heard of.
Emmanuel Ogbah, who's here today.
Simmons, on the left tackle, and then, yes, Emmanuel Ogbah. But he does represent, last I checked, still represents Tyreek Hill.
He does.
But he came all the way in just for the Ogbah one-year contract?
He was here yesterday as well.
Okay.
He was here yesterday as well.
But, I mean, does he just want to see Chiefs?
My guess is he visits.
Chat with Veach a little bit.
He visits his clients throughout camp. He probably goes to multiple camps.
You're probably right. I just don't, he just doesn't. Simmons is nowhere close to getting a contract. Ogbah doesn't feel like the guy you travel to sign a deal for, and the other guy is very low on the totem pole of representation. He might be represented by the firm, but not actually represented by Rosenhaus himself.
Fair.
On the totem pole. So, we'll see. But, yeah, we'll keep an eye out on that as we continue to wait for the end of practice. And then, of course, like you mentioned, Shamari Connor on the other side of it there as well.
You guys can interact with us on the J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook as well. A couple things on the business side of sports today. Let's start with the big news in the NBA, and then we'll get to the NFL evaluations and where the Chiefs stack up. But just a year ago, the Lakers were sold and bought.
Yeah.
For $10 billion.
Correct.
Which is an insane number.
Just sold and bought. Correct.
Okay, that happened just a year ago. Fast forward to today, the Lakers have been sold again for $12 billion. So the individual that bought them for $10 billion just a year ago just made a quick $2 billion profit. Just like that in 1 year. The evaluation of the Lakers went up $2 billion in a year? Crazy.
Well, I was trying to decide because it is the same investment.
LeBron was holding them down, I guess.
Who was looking to buy into the World Cup, so maybe they just had cash to burn.
Yeah.
Or is that like LeBron wanted out? He knew they were getting no ownership? It is insane to be able to buy a team for $10 billion and then a year later flip it for $2 or to $2.5 billion, depending on the sales price, profit over the course of a single year. It's crazy. It is crazy. And I told you, one of the things, if I were a league that nobody's going to care about because the league wants money, they're not going to worry about that, I would legitimately start looking at drafting up things to be careful with the private equity interest in these teams. But it's also tough because it is what is fueling these sports leagues going up for what it is. For instance, the NFL, who put out their thing at Sportico today on the team evaluations right now, they went up year over year 30% on average. The average NFL team is worth nearly $10 billion. That's up 30% than the average from just a year ago. I'm assuming it's because they're allowing more investment from private equity firms to play a portion of it, because that's a crazy jump in value. Soccer from year to year went 4.9% versus 30%, right? And we see these other ones in the evaluation as well. The WNBA went up 13%, the NBA 13.5%. But this idea of the value of a team jumping that percentage is crazy. The average year revenue, $733 million for the NFL. It's nuts.
Yeah,
you print money.
The 32 NFL teams are collectively worth $299 billion. $299 billion.
Pretty good.
That includes like the real estate and any of their mixed-use complexes, like Frisco with Dallas, or soon to be the Chiefs when they have their facility out in Olathe. That's the other thing. That'll be the one to watch with the Chiefs evaluation in future years, Cody, is when the stadium is fully built and the practice facility is fully built, how much of a jump do we see in the team evaluation? Because that's going to be a huge part of it. A huge part of it is going to be the fact that there's the new stadium attached.
Well, they'll go right up the list. And what's interesting here, in this whole Sportico article when they're talking about this, they also said that part of these evaluations jumping is that the league is now officially worried about the teams who don't have the cash to spend. They're worried about how fast the cap is growing compared to the poor teams who can't spend gold.
Well,
the
that's why you're
cash-to-cap
gonna have
spending.
Yeah.
And so, these teams who don't have the cash to pay for the players, even though the cap is going up because they got, like the Bengals are a great example, or Cleveland. They got broke owners who can't, by comparison, who can't afford
I think they're the
increased
cheapest
cap
team,
spending.
by the way, the Bengals.
Yeah.
I think they're 32nd. They're dead last in value.
Yes, I believe that's right. And also operating profits last year, the Broncos, it's weird. Operating profits last year, the Broncos were dead last in football at $51 million. And the Chiefs were kind of in the middle of the pack, $105 million in operating profit. The Cowboys, $510 million, were number one in operating.
4 times that.
In operating profit. Yeah, I mean, to your point, Cody, the Bills, they sold part of their ownership.
They did?
Because they needed some more cash moving forward as well. So you're going to see that happen, I think, with more. Now, there was a report today also in baseball. I don't know if you saw, whatever reason, all the business news happened today on the sports front, that the Yankees are now welcoming in a private equity firm to help finance over $2.5 billion in influx of cash for them.
To pay off all their debt?
For the Yankees moving forward. The one example of it working and not destroying a team is essentially the Dodgers. They're a giant group of owners.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't remember if a true private equity firm is part of that, but they have this massive group, and look what they've done with it. They've actually spent money, and they've won championships. They're probably going to win another one this year.
But I guess the point being, and you're right, because in baseball, the excess of money brings an advantage. Up until this point in the NFL, that advantage is slight. But for how long? Because genuinely, Drew, your team is at a disadvantage right now. They have let players go because over a number of years, because they didn't want to pay the signing bonus required to give a player cash. It's helped the Chiefs win championships that they have been willing to give cash to players in order to spread the burden out. The more cash on hand you have, the more flexible you can be with your contract, and the more money you can put out front. Look, I wouldn't be surprised. Once the Chiefs get the brand new stadium and do all that and their evaluation skyrockets, they will sell off a chunk, a percentage, because $1 billion of the team will be a much smaller percentage of the team than it's ever been. Hell, they sold a chunk not that long ago, Gold. In the last 5 years, they sold a small portion of the ownership group to somebody else in order to get cash on hand to pay for these things. The question is, how big do these ownership groups eventually have to be, and is there a bubble? The question always is there a bubble? But if Dallas is operating $510 million in operating profits for a year, my guess is no. And that the Chiefs' profit numbers are about to go way the hell up 5 years from now when they have a brand new stadium and real estate around it, right?
Specifically the training facility for the extra real estate around it.
Yeah, but I mean, there's going to be a lot on hand. It was interesting, man. $10 billion for one NFL team. The Chiefs, as a reminder, were bought by the Hunt family for $25,000.
Yeah, the world was a little bit different back then.
$25,000. Maybe the single greatest investment of all time, some might say. $25,000 into $10 billion? Not bad.
Not bad. And I get it. There's a ton of factors on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the dollar is valued differently. All sorts of things are different now. Inflation,
I don't know what
inflation, et cetera. But still, it's an unbelievable difference in where the NFL has grown to.
Yeah, it's wild. It's always interesting. Every year
and someone's right. Cash on hand is different than operating profit, for sure. I'm just saying that the category that they list is operating profits, and the Broncos were dead last. That doesn't mean they're cash poor. We know they're not because they got the Walmart money. So we know that's not the case. I'm just saying there's a list of operating profit, and the Cowboys had $510 million, Rams $255, Raiders $233, Patriots $214, Falcons $204. Those were the top five or so.
A lot of new stadiums in that list, by the way. Back to the Lakers for just a minute on that end. Is this a new trend? Is this going to start a trend? Own a team for a year or two, sell them?
That depends
Or is this a one-off? What do you think?
I think it's a one-off. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a one-off.
I'm just asking because, like Dave Tepper, right, for what he paid for the Panthers, he could sell them for a whole hell of a lot more money if he wanted to.
Well, of course, but he's also owned the team already now for over 5 years. So that's not what's happening in Carolina.
That would still be quick, I guess. But, yeah, you're right. It wouldn't be the same as the Lakers after a year.
I think what happened, based on Ramona Shelburne's reporting from ESPN, is that the group that bought it before, the individual that bought it before, wasn't necessarily looking to sell, but it's one of those where this group that now bought it, they were trying to get involved in one of the expansion markets like Vegas. The price for expansion in the NBA has gone so crazy that basically you could say, well, could we have an expansion team or we could just buy the Lakers? And it sounds like this
went to Bob Iger and Josh Kushner.
Yeah. Yes. Josh Kushner and Iger are the two owners.
What a conversation. I mean, for the same price of this expansion team, we could just own the Lakers.
Sold.
One of the single biggest brands of all time. I did find it interesting. The Lakers are the highest selling, this based on Sporticos. The 4 most profitable, most expensive franchises are football. The Lakers are 5th. You have to get to 18th before you get to the most expensive baseball team. Like if you were just to buy them on the street.
Cody, the crazy thing, too, I think I saw this. I think it might have been Sportico or somebody else. There are 5 college football programs that are worth more than the Kansas City Royals are.
That's not surprising to me. If Ohio State could be sold,
I'm going to say,
right?
Yeah, they obviously can't.
It was Ohio State, Texas, Michigan, potentially Oregon, too. I can't remember.
Although I say they can't be sold. I mean, with private equity, they can sell stakes in their athletic department like Utah did, right? Not what Utah
I guess.
did?
Yeah. I guess. It just seems – I will say that for college football, what a slippery slope.
Yes,
and also,
that's where it gets really sketchy.
You better not be in the upper echelon and trying to pass like the Protect College Sports and be like, we want amateurs to remain amateurs, and then also taking on business money from real businesses.
The Protect College Sports also doesn't want them to be amateurs. It doesn't say that in there.
No, I know. But
anyways,
like, you know what I mean? The people from the top of it or whatever.
Yeah, the
that thing keeps
NCAA.
going back and forth. Every day I hear it's dead, and then every day I
It
hear
got
that
pushed to September.
somebody's trying to like keep it alive. I still think in the end it'll die, but we'll see. We'll see whether or not it actually gets there. It is continuous to be interesting, or all these other things. And then I saw Bob and Dusty in the morning were talking about somebody ran the numbers on the most expensive sporting event to go to in the NFL, and for a family of 4, the average cost to go to a Bills game right now is projected to be $2,100.
What?
For a family to go to one
it's the
single
first year
football game as
of
a
the stadium.
family of 4. The estimated cost
That is unbelievable.
on average would be $2,100. Hell, they have a 6% surcharge on everything sold at Highmark Stadium. So merchandise, concessions, parking. If you buy anything at Highmark Stadium, you pay a 6% surcharge just to go. Like, I want to buy a beer, 6% more, please. We're at Highmark.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, I know.
Or you could go the Falcons route.
Yeah.
Just let me get a $3 pretzel, for God's sakes. I got to be honest. I think it's probably more likely that the Chiefs are this one than Falcons. I think there's a better chance that there's a 6% surcharge on everything sold at New Arrowhead than there is they give us a $3 pretzel.
I don't know what they're going to call it, but we know with the tax money that's going to be used for the New Arrowhead, I mean, there's going to be an increase in sales tax in Kansas, right? I mean, it's going to happen, whether it's those particular districts or elsewhere.
It's a depressing thought, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
You see the update, too, from Buffalo. They, of course, responded to all the backlash about the seats and some of the seats that people couldn't see. They responded and said, one, they're working on a case-by-case basis with people. Also, they said that not all the seats that were shown in the photos are open for football. So their argument is some of the seats people took photos from would not be even
They'd be a concert
sold,
block view?
Correct. Well, they would only be sold for a concert or whatever. That's what they claim. That's their argument. They said some of the photos that were shown would not be seats. Now, but that's only true.
Doesn't make any sense to me. You're a football
you build a
stadium
football
first.
stadium. Shouldn't every seat see the damn field?
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy to me. The other part is some of the photos we saw were not obstructed by concrete. They were obstructed because there was the glass panel. Well, that's a seat at the 40-yard line. That's definitely a football seat. So how do you explain that one? So we'll see. I don't know how that's going to play out, but the Buffalo Bills certainly took some heat for that, understandably so.
Over on Twitch, they're pointing out, they said, actually, the best investment was the Bears. They bought them for $100. So, best return, best ROI was, and they'll get a new stadium here soon,
I did
too,
see, thinking
in
of
Indiana.
Thinking of the Bears, I did see some quotes from Ben Johnson. It'll be year 3 for him, and the expectations are very high. He was asked about his goals aside from winning a Super Bowl. He said He wants to have the highest scoring offense ever. I know how many points per game they scored, 37.9, Broncos 2013. I want to surpass them. I want shutouts, and I want blowouts. So if you feel like Ben Johnson's, quote-unquote, running up the score late in games or anything, this is why. He wants the best offense in NFL history. Now, I like the Bears a lot. I like Caleb Williams. I don't know.
Put a lot of pressure on your boys.
With Luther Burden's injury as well, a receiving room of a banged-up Burden with Roma Dunze. Colson Loveland's maybe a top 5 tight end, though. Is that an offense that can get to 38 points per game? With that schedule in that division? I don't know if they can in that division.
Yeah.
Practice is getting ready to wrap up. They're going to meet and stretch for a little bit, so probably another 10 minutes or so.
Cody's getting his stretches into.
Before Shamari Connor gets out to the practice field. So before we take a quick break and get to Connor, how about a little Camp Darling Island?
9 players arrive in St. Joe for Camp Island. Only one can take home the final prize. Who will be the Chiefs' Camp Darling?
It's elimination day. Time to eliminate someone from the island. We did draft players all the way back on day 1 of training camp. We have already eliminated Jeff Caldwell, Garrett Nussmeier, Ashton Gelati, and Xavier Lloyd. Cody still has Cyrus Allen on his team. He had the first overall pick. Pretty strong pick there. Drew still has Emmett Johnson and Jeffrey Bassa. We let him swap out Bassa. I still have R. Mason Thomas, Jaden Candidate, and Jalen Royals. Khalil Benson is on the island, but he's on nobody's quote-unquote team. He was a bombshell that was allowed on the island mid-camp, understandably so, because he was starting to get a lot of first-team reps at right tackle. Now he's getting reps at right guard because Trey Smith is hurt. So the question is on the text line today, and for both of you, what are we thinking? Jalen Royals had a nice catch today, but I'll be honest. I think Jalen Royals is the obvious name to eliminate, and then we roll this all the way into next Monday after preseason game 1, and we eliminate somebody else on Monday based on preseason results.
He'd be, in fairness, most likely to come back on the island with a strong preseason game. So, I don't want to make it seem like that's not necessarily the case. But, I was going through the Chiefs social media. We got some rules on that. He is not on there right now, although pretty much every other wide receiver is. Cyrus Allen, Xavier Lloyd, Tyquan Thornton have all been on the Chiefs' social media account in the last 36 hours. Notably, Jalen Royals was not. I think it was between him and Bassa.
How about Jaden Kennedy? We have not heard Jaden Kennedy's name.
He at least did something during camp. Some of these other guys haven't done anything.
So the only thing that gave me a little pause on there is at Chiefs.com, in the write-up of yesterday's camp, Matt McMillan said that Jaden Candidate had a really good camp, or that he had a really good practice in particular. And so because he did some stuff and the Chiefs wrote about it, I felt like that protected him a day, maybe a day. So I think it's Bassa or Royals, and because Royals has been the absolute of the camp so far, I kind of lean that way.
And he's buried on the depth chart,
Did you say he made a good catch today, though?
He did.
Then one good catch today.
Because I would hate for us to eliminate Jalen Royals, and then at 2:15, the Chiefs put out, man, did you see this catch from Jalen Royals?
Ooh, he also had 2 drops yesterday.
Well, that doesn't help.
At least 2.
All right. If you guys are worried that on Saturday we're going to be watching it and Royals plays a bunch and he has a good game and then we feel like we eliminate him too early, we can just go ahead and eliminate Bassa today.
If you want to eliminate Bassa, then I think that's okay. I do think that. If we
eliminate Khalil
Royals,
Benson, he's the starting right guard right now.
If we eliminate Royals and he plays well, he can come back. If Bassa has 10 tackles and a forced fumble, he can always come back too. But I would say Bassa actually right now.
Okay. Yeah, because look, on Monday, if Royals does nothing in the preseason game, he's gone. Or if Emmett Johnson doesn't do anything or Candidate doesn't do anything, then those guys are gone. Cyrus Allen, Benson, I would say, and R. Mason Thomas are probably safe Monday no matter what.
Yeah, those guys are almost locks to make it to the end. At least the final, or close to the final vote.
Well, on Monday we make 2 eliminations. I don't
know. Do we need to do 2? I thought just 1.
How many people do we have left on the island? 1, 2,
because then
3,
the final
4,
day,
5, 6.
6, yes.
Left on the island right now. We only have 3 days. We're going to have to. Final day. I think we should be down to 3 by then, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I feel like we'll eliminate 1 on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we'd
have 3 down and decide the champion. Okay, that's probably fair. Otherwise, I would say if Royals doesn't make. We could make it a contingent. Royals doesn't make the Chiefs social media account by the end of the day. His ass is off the island.
We just throw him in on Monday as well.
Yeah, you're probably right.
We'll put it this way. If it's so bad on Saturday, then he can also be part of that. But okay, all right, so let's update the list here. Camp Darling Island. That now means Caldwell, Lloyd, Nussmeier, Gelati, and Bassa have been kicked off.
Your whole roster is still good, Gold.
It doesn't feel like any winners on there, but it didn't feel like he didn't draft any of the worst ones either.
Yeah.
Is essentially what
I
happened.
wasn't me trying to protect. I said I could eliminate Royals. I wasn't just.
Oh,
being
no, I know
protecting.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
Royals would have totally been a fair option.
You
today.
drafted very average. You guys questioned my initial number 1 overall pick of Cyrus Allen, though. I wasn't feeling good.
I mean, Emmett
He's
Johnson
still-
have 2 touchdowns on
Yeah,
Saturday.
you are.
You're in position both because they're offensive guys for them to leapfrog everybody. I need R. Mason Thomas to have like a sack. That gets me in play to win the whole thing if that happens.
On Monday, we will have to do a double elimination if someone gets back on. Xavier Lloyd has 5 for 90 and a touchdown. We got
Cyrus Allen is
bring him
still
back.
minus 250 probably to win at this point.
Yes, he is.
Benson,
Yeah.
I would
Heavy
say,
favorite.
I think Benson has the second best odds because if he somehow ends up as a starter,
I think
then
he has
it
to.
wraps that
Yeah,
up.
he's in the conversation.
Okay. That is Camp Darling Island. Let's get to a little trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
All right, so we are broadcasting live at camp, obviously, and we've got maybe 150 people in this tent next to us, so I'm sure they're going to really wonder
Crowded.
why I'm bringing this up for Trash of the Day.
Yeah, if they're listening, that's on them.
But you guys remember 2 months ago, maybe, we had a Trash of the Day about the gentleman who unfortunately had the world's smallest
I do remember that.
penis.
Say careful. There's a
There's
lot of people around us, Drew.
0.38, okay? And so we were like, oh, my gosh.
0.38.
Just a terrible,
I didn't know we had the
thing.
measurement.
Yep, yeah. That's what he says, Drew. And he had a GoFundMe. It was successful. This is the update. He raised $14,000
to go have the surgery.
And it's been scheduled, and he's having a procedure. Now, a couple things. One, good for him. The other part is they said, though, 10 to 30% better. Now,
That's
you're
it?
starting at 0.38, and I'll just leave it at that. So,
That's
But
it?
it must be yeah.
I'm not sure that's worth it.
Well, I think it is because he said he can't even, like, when he goes to urinate, it's a problem.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
This is about other,
Now, what did you make?
other parts of quality of life.
Yeah, just
Dang.
not what you're
Hang
thinking
on, so
immediately.
because even if it was double, it would be less than an inch.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. Oh, damn. Are they sure that there's not a little more wiggle room in the, when you're down that bad? Or no? Is it not? I'm just.
Please don't use the word wiggle while we're like don't use that word while we're talking about this, please. Please don't.
Oh, no. Drew, is it worth the $14K in your mind?
No.
I think it is.
A 30% increase from 0.38. Yeah.
Anything's better.
If it means he can properly at least go to the bathroom, then yes.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
then it's worth it. Now
That's fair.
so we had the original story a month back. The update we had on the rundown we didn't get to yesterday. I was driving back from St. Joe and I heard Carrington bring the update up, and they asked the question: would either of them, if they would have heard this story, would they have contributed to the GoFundMe, or if somebody asked you to? They both said no. I think
why not?
I don't know. I don't know if it was feeling weird that you were paying for someone to increase the size of their. I don't know if that's what it was. I'm not sure.
I know, but
that's something.
GoFundMe's are for quality of life and people.
That's what I
people
think.
can't medical stuff that people can't afford.
If there was some connection to the person, right? Like if this person was from Kansas City or somehow had a connection, then by all means, I'd throw $25 his way.
It's just. I am still surprised. I will say that he can't 30%'s max.
Someone said Carrington called him. Yeah, I did. Carrington did call him Big Dog, which was very weird.
That's crazy.
By the way, that's going to be Trash of the Day. I'm not going to make Shamari Connor walk in on this conversation. He's about to walk up to our tent, Drew.
Oh, okay.
So let's end the Trash of the Day. Someone says to send him 38 cents. Okay, that's messed up.
Come on, man.
That would be crazy.
That's actually messed up. If you did that, that'd be really screwed up. All right, our training camp coverage continues here from St. Joe. Thanks to Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. We are now joined by Shamari Connor here on 96.5 The Fan. Our player interviews are presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Shamari, great to we'll get your headset organized there. Sorry. Great to have you on the show, man. Thanks for stopping by. I know today's a hot one. How's camp? Let's just start with there. How's camp going for you a couple years into this thing now?
It's been going great. We've been we got a lot of new guys in our room, so it's been great to get our bond tighter and keep working and getting better and getting used to playing with each other every day.
You think they're relying more on you, because the secondary is a very new group, or at least a lot of new names to go with it. Do you feel confident enough in the system now and what you're doing in the SPAC system to help, I guess, the people get used to it who aren't used to the system yet?
Yep. I mean, this is my 4th year in the defense, so I'm kind of used to it. I know what Coach Spaz want, what he's looking for, so I can be a good guy to, feed that off to the young guys and to the guys that we brought in. So
some Chiefs fans might not have realized you played the most defensive snaps on the entire team last year. We looked it up. 98% is what you played on the defense. I guess, one, do you pride yourself in being the guy who played the most snaps on defense? And I guess that switch between corner and safety, do you hope that still continues for you this year?
I mean, I wouldn't say I pride myself on it, being able to be out there with the guys and, be able to take all those snaps. I definitely take pride in it. And, it's just been a great, I'm one of those guys that's going to do whatever the team needs. So they need me at nickel, I'm going to play nickel. Need me at safety, I'm going to play safety. So it's whatever the defense needs.
Do you have any sense, though, of what your role is? You mentioned you'll do whatever they ask, right? But do you have any sense what your role, has it changed at all, even from a leadership aspect, knowing there's other new pieces while you've been here?
Yeah, it's definitely more pushing to that leadership role just because we got so many young guys. We're a very young room, and we got so many new guys in the defense. So, yeah, it's definitely a leadership role. I'm working towards it every day, trying to get better at it every day and bring the guys along.
Who stands out to you on defense? Maybe out of the newcomers. I don't know, maybe it's Gilman in the safety room. Maybe it's some of the guys up front. Is there anybody that stood out to you as you're watching?
It's a lot, man. Gilman for sure. He's a very smart player. It's been great to be back in the secondary with him. Got guys like KT, big nose tackle. Those guys always gonna be great for you. Peter Woods, Mansour. We've got we bring in a lot of guys. So
we've heard a lot of hype on Cyrus Allen. How good does he look on your end? You're trying to guard him.
Yeah, Cyrus is really good, man. I seen him all summer working out. So he worked hard, man. He put the time in, and he gonna be a great player for sure.
How does he? I guess in what ways does he give you trouble? Wide receivers do it different. Is he? Is it the route running? Is it the way he uses his body? What do you see out there out of him?
He's a route runner, and he runs hard. He practices hard, so that's always a plus. He got great feet, and he got great hands as well. So
you're a Hokie, Va-Tech, right? So what would you make of just where we're at in college football? Now, a lot of trash talk in the offseason between Big Ten, SEC. You're an ACC guy, obviously.
Yep.
What do you make of college football right now?
I haven't really paid.
You're not locked in anymore?
Yeah, I'm not really locked in with it no more. But I'm always paying attention to Virginia Tech and those guys, and I hope they have a great season coming up. They got a new coach, so I hope it's gonna be good for them.
Did I see correctly that your major was criminology?
Yep.
Okay, so you a true crime guy, or is it just that was what the degree was?
I'm into it. I definitely was more into it in college, but.
Cold cases, Netflix docs, do you get into that stuff?
Yeah, I like the Netflix documentaries, like cold cases as well,
There's always that version of it. I just kind of like, especially if you like criminology, I just assume, or you're just a Law and Order fan or something,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Law and Order too. Law and Order.
I was like, what are you normally watching if you have a chance to get away from football? What are you watching up there?
Whatever new on Netflix, whatever new on Apple TV.
You just go to the top 10.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I do. You just go to the top 10 list and say, what am I missing?
Yep, try to figure it out. So
you got any recommendations? Something you loved lately?
It's a show on Apple TV. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a new show. It got 2 seasons. I can't think of the name of it. It was very good.
What's it about?
Dang, I can't think of it right now. It's not on the top of my head right now.
I'll go.
You're good.
2 seasons. That'll give me enough to at least search through. I'll look for it.
Yeah, very good show, and it's new, so newly added.
I'll have to check it out on Apple TV. All right, before we let you go, I know you got to run here early. Have you ever opened up some sports cards before? You ever done it with any of your teammates? So our friends over at the Art of Sports gave us some packs. These are top chrome. We're still looking for an auto, so if you want to open a pack or two here, let's see what we got. The only Chiefs player we've gotten so far is Brashard Smith. So we're looking for autos or numbers or colored cards.
You got some signed stuff in this?
See, we got.
I don't know if Shamari's
got
got a
Dexter
card in this.
Lawrence. We got Screen
Base
Bills
card.
guys. Barker Bowers, okay.
Travion
Trayvon Henderson.
All right. Let's see. We'll try enough. Those were all base. Let's see if we get anything better here. Numbered cards. One of these days we're getting an auto, I think, at some point.
I would hope so. But we're never quite there.
I think a couple of your teammates have some stuff in
Tyler
this
Higbee. You got Nate Wiggins.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, there, finally a Chief.
All right, we got Worthy. Yeah.
Shamar Turner, no autographs.
No autos.
No
now.
autos?
Cody, did you get any?
I got one rookie. That was
all
it.
right.
Tyler
Still no
Warren.
autos. Still no autos. Shamar, we appreciate, man. Thinking
You're
of
not the
autos,
good luck charm, but we'll find one eventually.
If you don't mind signing this for charity, your teammates have signed it up.
problem.
It's for the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, so I'll have you sign that helmet if you don't mind. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Shamari Connor joining us here on 96.5 The Fan. Our player interviews presented by the St. Joseph Convention and Visitors Bureau. Plan your trip now at stjomo.com. That's stjomo.com. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on the show as we're talking to Chief Safety Shamari Connor after practice today. Good crowd of people hanging out afterwards as well. And don't forget, tomorrow we'll be back up here in St. Joe, and we'll have another player stop by after practice. Drew's going to let us know coming up on the other side when Travis Kelce is speaking. We'll play some of that, what Travis had to say, as we get into the Chiefs Red Half Hour next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circus Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the three contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
Kansas City football fans, Dana Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
There's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones. Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender.
Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Jurnavix suzetrigine begins. Jurnavix is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
like I punched an angry beehive.
And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Jurnavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jurnavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Journavx, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit journavx.com.
Imagine every time your business makes a sale. Inventory updates, an invoice is created, customer records are updated, accounting stays current. That's the power of Odoo. One fully integrated platform where every part of your business works together, automating tasks, eliminating extra steps, and saving you valuable time. Everything connects. Everything works. Try Odoo free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know Skechers makes high-performance footwear for almost every sport you play? Here's what our athletes are saying.
Hi, I'm pro basketball player OG Anunoby. I dominate in Skechers basketball. Skechers delivers championship-level performance.
I'm WNBA star Jackie Young. Skechers keeps me quick, comfortable, and ready for anything.
And you can get high-performance Skechers and hands-free slip-ins technology. Just step in and perform.
I'm pro golfer Matt Fitzpatrick. I play in hands-free Skechers golf slip-ins.
Find yours at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or whatever high-performance sports shoes are sold.
This report is brought to you by Go Car Wash. It's your time to go shine.
For limited time at Go Car Wash, mention radio and get any wash for just $5. Yep, any wash. That's up to 80% off our best wash. Visit Go Car Wash today. It's your time to go shine.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Josh Simmons from the Kansas City Chiefs, and welcome into the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day at 11:30 on Cody and Gold on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
We continue broadcasting live in St. Joe. Practice has wrapped up. We're going to hear from Travis Kelce at the podium here in just a little bit. He was speaking as we were talking to Shamari Connor. So as soon as we have that cut and ready to rock and roll, we will play that from Travis. I'm sure he was asked about the wedding. I'm sure he was asked about expectations for himself heading into what could be his final season in the National Football League. Our training camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you.
We will bring you Travis Kelce from the podium coming up here in just a little bit. Just got to make sure it's free of the words you're not allowed to say on the air, at least at that end. But we will
he thought
bring
he was on his podcast.
Yeah, I think that was the way I saw it put. So we will hopefully get it there. I know that he called St. Joe, had a special place in his heart. In a weird way, if you probably spent 6 weeks out of every summer for, a decade and a half in one place, it probably would hold a special place in your heart, or at least be a place that you think of. And I'm coming up on years, 10 maybe, of coming up to St. Joe personally. I took 1 year off, I think, but I've come up every year since 14 to St. Joe. You've come every year since at least 2020, and then maybe probably some of your part-time days. In the early 6-10 days, I'm guessing.
Wow, when I was in Topeka, yeah.
Oh, and Topeka,
when I was in Topeka, I would say. So, yeah, it's funny as we're talking about, how similar some of the things are up at camp. I saw Dave Tobe, who was speaking earlier as well while we were talking to Shamari, mentioning, he's like, he can't wait for Saturday. He's like, it's getting old not being able to be physical up here at camp. Again, we've reached the point where everybody just wants to be able to take it up a notch, and they'll get to do that on Saturday against the Rams. And as far as the injury front, we haven't got an update on Nick Bolton if you're just joining us. He was in the front of a cart earlier today. Might be a carryover from yesterday when he hurt his knee, but we don't have an update on that. Also, someone asked on text line, hey, they saw a video of Peter Woods went down on a screenplay. Did he leave practice? No, he did not leave practice, but he did fall down after a screenplay, and it took a bit to get up. He waved the player that was coming in for him off the field, and he stayed in the next play. So I would assume he's okay. But no, he did not leave practice.
No, so at least, and again, we'll keep an eye on all the injuries, obviously, as we want to see Peter Woods in an actual game on Saturday. Give him the opportunity.
Someone said, Cody, you're basically the mayor is what you're trying to tell us. You're talking about being here so often. They said you're basically the mayor now.
I don't think so. Is that a full-time position, mayor of St. Joe, or is it like mayor of Overland Park?
I don't know.
Because Mayor of Orland Park is it's not ceremonial, it's a real job, but you know how it is. Or depending on the municipality, it's not a full-time job.
Yeah.
Depending on some municipalities, it is.
Yeah, if you're the mayor of KCMO, it's obviously
it's a full-time job.
A little bit different than being the mayor of a smaller
let's
town.
See, mayor of St. Joseph, Missouri. I could be the I could be the mayor of Gladstone. That's not a full-time gig. I don't think I could win mayor of Gladstone, but
yeah, Someone says, "Are we talking about
John Johnsondale is the mayor of
John Johnsondale?" Shout out to him, not Cody Tapp.
Retired after spending 35 years working with Johnson Controls, lifelong resident of St. Joe. I can't take that guy's job. He feels like he knows what he's doing. Oh wait, no, this says it's Larry Miller. I don't know, man. Oh, this guy just got elected. Larry Miller, sorry, is the new guy. 35 years. There he is, Gold. There you go. Larry Miller. Open door policy, he says. He is available. If you want to, you want to spend time hanging out with Larry, he is available for it, We'll get back to mayor stuff later, maybe. This is the Chiefs Red Half Hour, as you'd previously mentioned. We'll get to some of the podium stuff in just a minute. But in leading up the show and some of the things we were talking about, I do think are worth noting, at least on this is, I'd asked this because Connor, he'd said, hey, he played the most snaps on the team on defense last year. I think he, without saying it, kind of suggests the idea that maybe he'd play a little bit less nickel this year, and we've seen him, Gold, significantly less at nickel corner this year, which is why I was asking the question, hey, what is their strength on defense, or what is their strength on the team, and what do we think they're going to lead with? They have been a defensively led team multiple years in a row. Would you agree with that? I think for the first time in years, I would say before the season starts, I'd be calling on them to be led by the offense. I think it is important that by the end of the year, Gold, when we say, what is this team's strength, that be something they do offensively. Bully team on the offensive line. Throw against them effectively. Play action pass game. I don't care what it is. Patrick Mahomes is getting back to him. The strength by the end of the year in this team needs to be offensive. It needs to be. Sure, it'd be cool if it's the defensive, but that better not be the best unit on the field. It needs to be something on offense by the end of the year is really my stance on it. And I just don't know what it's going to be. Offensive line, wide receivers, running game, play action running game, whatever. You might predict it. But you at least agree with me it should be on offense somewhere?
It should be, but what's interesting, this offseason, other than Kenneth Walker, who they spent a big chunk of money on, we all are expecting big things, they put all their other resources on the defensive side of the ball. So, that would be the interesting thing. I think the offense will be better than the defense this year. I'm in agreement with you. But typically, when you're talking about what has to be better, you would say, well, where do they put all their resources? They got some big contracts on the defensive side of the ball, as we know. But the draft capital was all on the defense. Other than Cyrus Allen, it was pretty much the entire defense. Garrett Nussmeier and Cyrus Allen, I guess, were the two picks along with Emmett Johnson, late round running back pick. Other than that, it was premier picks were all the defensive side of the ball. But that was also where they were trying to fill the most holes, I should say, for this defensive unit was there. But I also think when you have Mahomes, even coming off of an ACL, LCL injury, when you have the money you spent on Walker, when you have a first-round pick that you had in Worthy, when you have a second-round pick in Rashee Rice.
Yeah, they've put some
Travis
investment.
Kelce is still going to be a huge part of this offense. You spent a first-round pick on your left tackle a year ago. Yeah, I think if you're putting odds on what's going to be the better unit this year, the offense has no reason not to be. That doesn't mean the defense should be the 23rd best defense or something crazy, but the offense has potential to be top 5, top 7 offense in football if all goes well. The defense, scoring-wise last year, we talked about the scoring defense and how it was misleading at the end of the year. So we'll see, but I'm with you on offense, and a big piece of that would be Travis Kelce, who is just wrapping up, and let's hear from him right now.
It was a fun off season, man. Wedding was the best night of my life, and I appreciate everybody who came out and celebrated and had fun with us. And that's about all I really got from that night. It was a crazy night. It was full of a lot of celebration, but it's football, baby.
Last year you joked about spending a year of your life in the dorms. Now it'll be a year and a month, I guess. Is there something about it that you look forward to?
I mean, it's always going to be my sanctuary. I think St. Joe's got a special place in my heart. A time in you need to have these days. You need to have this time of grinding with the guys, being around them all day, every day. you start to create that chemistry and that standard of how we're going to do things. And this year it's ramped up even more, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And man, it feels good to have the leaders out there, all feeling the same thing.
Trav, I talk to a lot of guys in pro sports, and they tell me when they get to the league, they want to do three things: win a championship, take care of their family, and stay healthy. You've been fortunate enough to do all three. What motivates you to still come out here and still want to play football?
I still got a lot of love for this game. I still think I can go out and play at a high level, and I want to go out there and prove myself that I can play at a better level than I did last year. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is making sure that I'm accountable for the guys in this room and every single play that I'm out there.
That's what motivates you, change from year 1 to year 14.
I mean, year 1 I was just trying to make the team, I guess. So I think this year, not only making the team, but trying to figure out how I can bring guys along with me and show them how to play championship football. I think that's a big thing, and then be able to just enjoy these moments with the guys that I've built this culture with, and Coach Reed and guys like Pat and Chris Jones and George and everybody. So. All aspects of football, man. Being more accountable when the ball's in the air. There were a few games last year that I felt like I put on myself. In the blocking world, being able to get my guys so we can spring guys for bigger gains. And then on top of that, just being a better leader, and when we get stuck in a with adversity hitting, who's going to be able to, who's going to want you in that foxhole with you. And that's one of those things that I want to be one of those guys that everybody counts on to be there and get us out of that foxhole.
Last year, is it already behind us? Is something that's still in mind here?
The fact that we didn't make the playoffs, I moved on pretty quick. But I think once we get back into OTAs and right now, I think everybody feels everything's got to get turned up a little bit, and that's what you're seeing right now.
All of a sudden, this is Patrick's 10th season, and I just wonder if you might recall some of your first interactions with him, and maybe just the arc of your relationship with him since then.
One of the most surprising things you'll ever find out about playing with Pat Mahomes is the guy's got a good cadence. There's something with the frequency of his voice, and when he says it really gets you to. So everybody just got to mentally, when you're tired, you really got to lock in because that frequency it get you to jump no matter what. It's a good cadence. Everybody knows I love that guy. That's a brother to me. I'm so proud of the way he handled adversity from last year to right now. Obviously, we still got about a month, less than a month till the first game. But if you see him out here, man, you see him enjoying the game, competing at a high level, not thinking about the knee. And he's playing his tail off right now and leading us is the biggest thing. Is when you get your leaders out there, your best players out there, and they're setting the tone, setting the standard of the team. As long as 1-5's out there doing that, man, we're going to be a good football team.
Obviously, he's grown in so many ways, but do you see some parts of him that you value because he's still the same guy?
I would say the accountability to everybody around him. There's one thing everybody's, you can either, lead by example or lead with your voice. I think he's been more prone to, obviously he's always led by example, but to hold somebody accountable man to man and try and get the best out of them without them turning on you, things like that, especially in the dog days of camp, you can get real ugly mentally, but I think Pat does an unbelievable job of that, and it's been one of those things that's gotten better and better over the years, just as he holds me accountable, Feel ready to rock and roll. I mean, third day in camp for, I think, 9-day in pads, third day in pads this week. Body feels good. I was able to finish at a strong way, and just trying to make sure I set that example for the guys around me to know that, this is the standard.
What are your impressions of Ken Walker?
Woo! Ken Walker's going to be a hell of a ball player for us, if you didn't know that already. He's got every trait you could possibly want at the running back position. And on top of that, his mentality, how smart he is, his physicality, his aggression, and how he runs with the football and just plays the game. I can't say enough about him as a teammate. We got an absolute superstar on and off the field at 9.
Travis, Eric Bennett back, and we talked to you about that earlier, but now gone through some camp with him. What has he brought being back here with you guys, especially for the guys who haven't been around him?
one, you got intensity. Intensity is the first thing, and that intensity is infectious. It makes you want to scream at everybody doing the wrong thing, and I love that shit. It's one of my favorite things about him. I don't think there's enough of that in the world, let alone in this building, and I think EB's one of those guys where his accountability is going to piss you off, but if you treat it the right way and you act the right way or respond the right way with it, you're going to become better of it, and it's going to make the team a better team because of it. And it's one of those things that I think we really missed here in Kansas City.
So that last year you talked about, it was kind of a weird year last year. Was that something that maybe wasn't there?
1,000%. And that's not to say that, it was on anybody specific. I'd put my hand in the air and I say, there were things that I could have done better in that regard. And it's one of those things that I'm working on. It's not just going to be Bieniemy out here holding people accountable. It's the guys that are doing it the right way holding people accountable too.
How excited are you to bring that connection back with Mahomes, considering how last season ended?
Say it again?
How excited are you to bring that connection back with Mahomes, considering how last season ended?
I mean, we got a lot of great players on this offense, man. It's not just me. I think, we got some young guys that can play in Cyrus Allen, Jay Royals. Obviously, Quan is coming back. He's looking great running down the field. And we got Xavier Worthy, who, if you see him in the offseason, we just got to give him a little healthy right now. But that he's a man on a mission right now. And I love the way he's working and his attention to detail and how he's running his routes. And just, the aggression that he's running his routes in. When we get him back out here, man, we'll be a full arsenal. And I think Pat has done an unbelievable job of not only getting himself ready for here, but working with these receivers and making sure that everybody's, living up to that standard of how we're going to play this year. And you can't forget Rashee Rice, man. Rashee Rice is out here working his tail off, trying to get right as well. And we love Ford for getting out here and getting through these dog days, knowing he's coming off a knee surgery.
Last few guys, Nick, go ahead.
Travis, for you, what did the moment mean? Because you watched sports since you were a little kid. What did the moment mean to be in that venue, Madison Square Garden, for the most important?
MSG, man. I always told myself I'd go for a playoff game when the Knicks were rocking. And my wife went when I was stuck in a mini camp, so I didn't get my opportunity to go then. So it's kind of cool to be able to, live out my childhood dream of being in that venue and, the mecca of all sports venues, being able to get married in there. Can't thank, the owners of MSG for allowing us to get the opportunity to do that, knowing that we wanted a private event and everything. So it was perfect. And the AC was cooking, baby. That was the best part.
These past few years with the podcast with your brother, I guess, what has it meant that you're going to have these memories with him and kind of discussing, what could be the latter years of your career, recorded and sharing those with people?
Man, it's a blessing in disguise, man. I had no idea it would get to this point, that is new heights and how big it's gotten. I'm so fortunate that, my brother was, on board with being able to do this, because it's not only, giving us another avenue of way of life, but and a broader audience and things that we want to do off the field, but it's brought us closer and given us a certain amount of time throughout the week that you just get to sit down and shoot the shit with your bro. So it's memories I'll never forget. Every single time we jump on, we're laughing for 4 hours. It's only supposed to be a 2-hour recording. We're laughing for another 2.5. So it's a beautiful thing. Obviously the first year we did it, we went to the Super Bowl, played each other in the Super Bowl, and that will be the most magical year, knowing that, we got to put our family on display in a way that we hadn't before. But to be able to keep doing this and get the guests that we're doing, we're just so thankful, and we want to be able to tell everybody's story as well as ours.
Last one, Sam.
Travis, St. Julian Sanctuary, I just wonder if this being up here prompts you to reflect on other times you've been up here.
I'll tell you what, I like to play the old man and just tell everybody how good we got it when they like to complain about the cat food and driving all the way up here, and what the conditioning test used to be to what it is now, and how many plays the long drive drill was back then and now what it is now. And not that Andy's getting soft on us, but just a different day and age, man. But it's fun to reflect in those kind of ways, just to shoot the shit and kind of poke fun at the young guys for complaining about how things are and how hard it is to be an NFL football player, and the beauty of it all. So like I said, this place has a special place in my heart. A lot of it is due to the fans coming up here and showing love every single day. It doesn't go unnoticed. a lot of times that gets you through the dog days and the tough days. And, it's definitely some place that I'll always remember when I think about football.
Thanks, Trav.
All right, that was Travis Kelce, the dump button, getting a workout today from Travis. If you're listening on
New Heights.
If you're on the stream or the app, you probably still heard it. But if over the air, we got that. Drew was quick.
We did hit the dump button.
That's like
4 times.
4 or 5 times we needed to hit the dump button.
So you and I better not say any bad words here for a minute.
That's right. We got to be good for about 30 seconds or another minute or two for it to build back up. A lot there from Travis, though. He was asked about the young guys, and the first name out of his mouth was Cyrus Allen. I mean, other than being asked about Kenneth Walker in particular, Cyrus Allen was the first name that he really went out of his way to talk about. Let's react to that. Let's discuss what he also had to say about the training camp so far. Nate Taylor's going to stop by. We'll get his reaction at some point later on. We're going to also hear from Khalil Benson as we continue broadcasting live from Chiefs Camp in St. Joe.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Red Eddie on Football season is just around the corner, and just like your favorite team, you've got to fuel up to perform. At Break Time, we've got your training camp essentials, ice-cold drinks, protein-packed snacks, and all your game day favorites. Whether you're hitting the field or cheering from the sidelines, teamwork starts with the right fuel. Let's go! One team, one goal! Swing by Break Time, your home team for snacks, drinks, and everything in between. Download our mobile app and find a location near you. We're proud to be Missouri made.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
When your joints hurt every single day and you've been told you need surgery, it can feel like there's only one option left. But please, do your homework. Remember, once a joint is replaced, there's no going back. Hey, it's Bob Fesco. Before you schedule that surgery, consider getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with the pain of bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or just years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver real relief to patients right here in Kansas City. They concentrate tiny healing tools from within your own body, targeting the exact spot that's causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off surgery or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. So get your free consultation at QC Kinetics now, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located at 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
The first ever Infiniti QX65 feels unstoppable. In a world that is frozen in its ways, this sporty fastback SUV never stops moving forward. Turbocharged performance, intelligent all-wheel drive standard, ProPilot Assist 2.1. This is a ride beyond the expected. This is unstoppable progress. Discover the first ever Infiniti QX65 at InfinityUSA.com. 2027 QX65 expected early summer 2026.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of Essentials Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Tune into the Chiefs' first preseason game against the Rams, Saturday, August 15th with pregame at 2 and kickoff at 3. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City. In Odyssey Sports Station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number 1 on What's Trending. We continue broadcasting live here in St. Joe. Our coverage is presented by Break Time, whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp. Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Injury update today. Earlier at practice, we saw Nick Bolton in the front of the cart. We now know the reason for that. The Chiefs saying just an illness, which is obviously a good thing for Nick Bolton. Gerald Wiley did leave practice with a strained hamstring. Peter Woods has an ankle injury. Did not appear to be all that significant.
He practiced the rest of the day.
He still got back at it. He fell down on a screen, struggled to get up for a second, and then he even waved off a teammate that was trying to sub in for him. So they mark it down as an ankle injury. Something to watch. Remember, tomorrow is a non-padded practice and a lighter one, as they have the off day Friday and then the game Saturday. So don't be shocked if anybody that got banged up today doesn't practice tomorrow, because it's kind of a nothing type of practice, I guess, comparatively to what we've been seeing.
Yeah, I would say so. And then, tomorrow will be, as you mentioned, quite a bit lighter. They've been in full pads 3 times this week already. And then tomorrow will be a light practice Friday, typically for them. I know it's Thursday, the way they do it ahead of the game. Next up on What's Trending, the Jonas Brothers will headline the halftime show during the Melbourne, Australia game between the 49ers and the Rams coming up on Friday, September 11th. Why? And Thursday night, September 10th. Why will Binkley not like it?
He just wants dog halftime.
Bink would rather dogs catch a Frisbee during halftime than a concert.
So there's part of me that, for that stuff, fine, I agree. But like I told you, it's like some of the bad concerts we've had, I think they've stretched themselves a little bit thin. For a game this big, I'm not surprised they're going to do a concert. My kids only recently learned of the existence of the Jonas Brothers because they watched the first 2 Camp Rock movies, which they are in, and I did not realize because we're going to take them to the Disney concert.
There you go.
I believe in October. So I don't know that I know really very many Jonas Brothers songs, honestly. Although I guess one of them's got a decent solo career now in the pop game, so you probably heard something about it.
You and I still have to make a decision in 2 weeks or so if we're going to the Backstreet Boys in Vegas or not.
I want to get a cheap seat for it.
I was looking at ticket prices. They've gone down a little bit.
I think
they're
down
like 4% from where they were.
I think we get there like 15 minutes after it starts.
We'll see. We can figure it out. We got time, but definitely keep an eye on it. Elsewhere, big news in the sports business world today. The Lakers have been sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger. Record-breaking amount of over $12 billion. Mark Walter purchased a controlling stake just a year ago for $10 billion. He's now selling it for $12. That's a hell of a return. It's a hell of a return for the Lakers owner and now a new ownership group in the NBA.
I mean, to sell him after just a year to me is so wild, and yet interesting, I guess, that you can turn a $2.5 billion profit in that short amount of time. I probably wouldn't be complaining about my investment at that point. Next up on What's Trending, the Royals dropped to the Dodgers, game 2 of their series. Have already dropped this series 2-0. It was a bullpen. Again, Lucas Ursek blew it. Once again, it's been the consistent theme of the Royals. It actually doesn't tell me anything. They're a competitive baseball team until you get to about the, 7th or 8th inning, and then they ain't competitive no mo. That's really what it comes down to. They dropped another one. It'll be another 9-10 first pitch tonight. Vern's on Deck show starting at 8 o'clock I'm 0 for my last 2 in Vern's on Deck show. So next time he asks me, I got to try to get it right. It'll be Daniel Lynch making his second start as a Royal, so we'll get a sense of him coming up in just a few.
That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. We'll get to some camp questions probably around 12:30 because Nate Taylor's actually going to join us here in about 2 minutes from ESPN. We heard from Travis Kelce right before we went to break. If you missed some of that, you'll hear it again in the 1 o'clock hour. It did sound like, and we'll ask Nate for his opinion on it, it sounded like Travis, once again, like just soaking it all in, kind of appreciating what the career has been a little bit. He was talking about how it used to be with conditioning tests and how camp used to be, reminding the young guys, like, hey, it's not that bad. This is what we used to deal with 10 years ago or whatever it may be. And then he, of course, talked about the wedding, called it his best night of his life. Of course, the wedding there at Madison Square Garden. And Nate, I will say, when he was asked about the young players, I think the first or second name he mentioned was Cyrus.
You know it.
So, I mean, every single person.
Choo-choo.
Continue to fuel that train.
Here we go.
There's no doubt. Nate Taylor from ESPN joining us after practice, as he does each and every day here in St. Joe. Let's just start with Travis, and we can work our way to some of the other notes of camp today. What did you make? I mean, he talked for about 10 minutes, with the media.
Yeah.
Obviously, wedding stuff mixed in there, mixed in with just being an old guy now, essentially, is what he said. He basically said, I'm kind of the old guy out here reminding players,
He's the longest tenured player. It's been that way for quite a while. The thing that jumped out to me off the field is how comfortable he is now to say my wife.
Oh, yeah.
I know that.
Those first couple times you say it,
I know that glow up. Oh, I know that glow. It was a great day for me and my wife. He just, it was rolling
natural.
Rolled off like butter on a roll. It was so good. I get the sense from him that, he's put a lot of onus on himself, which is what a leader's supposed to do. He made it very clear that, I love Eric Bieniemy. He will annoy me. But then it's my job to sort of extend that message as well to the younger guys. You could clearly tell he wants to pump up Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy because we both know this is a big year for both of them. And so he's trying to get them. He's like, hey, I love the mentality that Xavier has coming into this year, even though we have not seen him for about a week and a half now. In terms of full participation.
I think they had some guys take the offseason a little more serious than maybe they had. Is it wrong to say that,
I think he's alluding to that,
with Worthy and I think FAU, that's been some of the talking points.
There
may be a few of the guys who, admittedly, if you'd ask people behind closed doors, maybe weren't working as hard as some other guys or as hard as you have to work to be great.
Yes.
Maybe there's something there.
I think there's definitely something there. And realizing, too, that, there's a land of opportunity in front of you based on your role within the team. So for Travis Kelce to be successful at age 36 in what could be his final season, he's going to need a lot of production from Xavier Worthy, from Rashee Rice. He obviously is in love with Ken Walker. I think that's one of the bigger takeaways.
Yeah, he said a lot of nice things about Ken.
I think that's been one of the biggest takeaways in terms of everybody on the team is just how much Ken Walker means to them because it's a legitimate dynamic running back, and you're like, oh, wow, he can open up the offense for everybody. He showed a lot of, obviously, love and affection for Patrick. I would have wanted to ask him a little bit about what the rehab process was like from his vantage point, given that it's been 13 years since he had to recover from his own knee surgery. So he has some perspective on it, but it's a little bit different when you're the quarterback and you're trying to do it at, breakneck speed in terms of return. He's a leader, and he understands, too, that, there was times – I appreciated that he said there were times – last season where the ball was in the air and I didn't do my job. He said that more definitively than, say, Rashee Rice did yesterday.
He made some, mental stuff in the season last year where it's is it age when you drop the ball or lack of focus for half a second?
I think it's both.
In the red zone,
your
too.
reaction's slower.
Your reaction. It's just the nature of rising and falling in life.
Just making me laugh now because we had R. Mason Thomas on yesterday. And we were asking about hey, how do you find friends? Do you go, you go straight to the OU guys because there's a lot of them on the team. He's like, some of that. He's like, but also, some of the players, some of those guys are in their 30s. I was like, easy, you don't have to talk about we're dead.
He's like, yeah,
R. Mason, I'm 41.
He said some
I
of the
need
jokes.
this energy in my life.
We can hang, bro. Dang.
He said some of the jokes don't land because they're old man jokes. They're just out here talking about stuff he doesn't know. He's 21 though. He's a kid. 22. He's young.
Yeah, it is, and I don't think Travis Kelce is going to the local putt-putt the way Matt Ariza, Harrison Butker and James Winchester are. So
he's not even 22 yet, by the way. Our Mason turns 22 in 2 weeks.
There's a little bit of that, but I just love the fact that he's reached it on the other side, right? There's some guys who loathe this, who are just ready to just be done with this place. Take me anywhere but here. I want to, Coach, can we do a joint practice? No. Can I get a day off? No. Are we in pads again? My goodness. When do we play a game, right? I'm so thirsty for another team. Travis is on the other side of that, where he's like, actually, guys, you all should be enjoying this more than you are.
Yeah, he also said it used to be harder.
And it's
so I want to point out to all of you, he said, what was the quote? He said, he's not taking, it's not that, I'm not calling Andy soft, but it used to be a little different out here.
Different time and place now.
Yeah, like the league sets up some parameters to stop him from working my ass the way I used to have to work out here.
Right. And so he's got a great perspective on, and he's very flattering about St. Joseph, and I completely understand where he's coming from, because this is what is required for greatness, and you have to be willing to accept it. You have to be willing to do it when you don't feel your best or you're not in the best mental state. But this is where you build all of your mental toughness, or you're sculpting your body to take on, a sport that is extremely violent, and you're trying to make plays that will not only get you and your teammates to success, but will honestly benefit you all financially. Like, there's so much of your teammates' health in your hands, and so much of their financial rewards in your hands too, when you're in the huddle, when you're playing the ultimate team sport in the entire world. Like, I love soccer, but soccer don't demand this. So it is the hardest team sport in the entire world, and that's why people love it. And Travis Kelce, even in year 14, appreciates and adores every step of the way, because he knows this might be it for him in St. Joe, and he wants to have a better ending than what he has experienced the last 2 years.
We're talking to Nate Taylor from ESPN here on 96.5 The Fan. Clear up a couple of injury stuff today. We saw Nick Bolton earlier in front of the cart. Illness. Yeah, just that's the good news.
He wasn't even out in the heat long enough to be feeling Cyclospore, he'd been eating that lettuce like Alex.
Hey, the lettuce is fine, man. The lettuce is fine. I had lettuce again yesterday, Cody.
Cody, you're never going to be more assured that they've double-checked that lettuce than right now, baby.
I know.
Dive in.
Nate, exactly.
Dive in.
Exactly.
There's lots of vegetables in this world.
They had to triple-check it.
I'm just not. As long as you don't eat that. I don't want to get in trouble. That farm company's lettuce, we're good.
I gotta say,
it's doing a bad name for my name. I mean,
it really is.
Nate's last name Farms is not a good thing.
I called them. They said, "Look, we gonna triple check it. We gonna rinse everything off of it." You know,
Lads, could you imagine? I mean, just imagine though, right now, sitting up. It's supposed to be 110-degree heat index today, and your stomach starts to gurgle. I can't imagine a worse spot on planet Earth to have the bubble guts come get you in the worst way than 110-degree heat index porta potty after 5,000 people just ran through the thing. That's my nightmare.
Nick Bolton, though, can call for the cart and go up and be done for the day. It hits you. If it hits you or me, we're in big trouble. It hits us at noon, we're in big trouble.
There are no more carts, ladies and gentlemen.
We are screwed. All right? We're screwed.
One of the things, too, that I have to remind fans sometimes is, I'm telling you, man, get hydrated. Take that extra water. I know they charge you what they charge you. Go ahead and get a drink.
Yeah.
It's easier for them to get really dehydrated because they're running and they're sweating so much that, and again,
you almost can't keep enough in.
Yeah, and we talked about this, what was it, yesterday or so? Like, Andy Reid wants such a tempo at practice that it's easier for you to really get dehydrated. So I don't know if there's a little bit of that.
Was he the player? The text line's asking, was Nick Bolton the player, or was that Willie Gay that had the constant stomach?
That was Gay.
That was Willie Gay.
He had like a stomach lining issue. Wasn't like
different player.
Yeah. And so again, like they're world class athletes. They keep their bodies in elite shape. But hey, man, there ain't nothing like just working under the sun in full pads, going at a faster speed than what you would normally see in a game. Hopefully we see him tomorrow. But yeah, it's an illness. And, he had a little bit of a knee issue yesterday, so I don't know if that made an impact of it at all. But it's rare to see Nick Bolton not be on the field.
when you look at a guy like getting back to Cyrus Allen a little bit, just because he has obviously been one of the talks of camp. What percentage, Alex and I we haven't asked you yet because Alex and I talked about it maybe 5 days ago. I had said we were talking about a percentage chance we thought Cyrus Allen would be the best wide receiver on the team by the end of the year. So, like, as in, maybe he's not getting more targets than Rice, but we all agree that guy's the best wide receiver on the team. I said like 5 to 10%. Alex wasn't willing to go higher than that by any means.
I'll give him 20%.
20%, okay.
I'll give him a 20%.
I said like 10% because I can't rule it out because the competition to this point hasn't like is so far ahead. Like I say, he's got to get better than Jamar Chase by the end of the year. Justin Jefferson, like he's just trying to get better than like a low end 1, high end 2. You know,
I want to be clear. Until we see it for like a month, the Chiefs don't have a number 1 receiver. They don't.
No, they don't. They got a lot of 2s.
I have to say it on ESPN.com that Rashee Rice is technically their number 1 receiver. But again, I would like to see him demonstrate that for a month consistently before we can sort of say that definitively. I think Xavier Worthy has a chance to be a very high 2. Tyquan Thornton wants to be a more complete receiver, so he's back into like that number 3 role. They should put him on the field. He's built a great connection with Patrick Mahomes in the intermediate and deep area of the field, so he can stretch.
They keep finding him deep. He's their deep threat.
He's their best deep threat right now. Again, we haven't seen Xavier Worthy in pads running deep routes on 11-on-11 full team scrimmage. As I've said before about Cyrus Allen, he don't drop the ball. He runs really good routes. He appears to be your best guy against man-to-man coverage, and he should only get better because he's only going to get more experience over the course of the season. So the 20% is partly that, and the other part is, can Xavier Worthy stay on the field for 17 games? Can Rashee Rice stay on the field for 17 games? Can he be reliable, dependable, productive? And as much as I love Tyquan Thornton, I do think he has a specific role that says, hey, you are a really nice compliment to whoever our quote-unquote 1 is supposed to be.
Yeah, he's never going to be the most targeted guy.
No,
he's going to get his 4 to 5 targets, his 2 to 3 catches. In a different game, maybe something different, but I guess I don't view it much different than that.
Yeah, he could be if he could give you, and I know this sounds crazy, if he can give you a slightly better version than Marquez Valdez-Scantling was, then you'd be thrilled because that's a deep threat. He's legitimate. He's going to make those 3 to 4 plays a game. And one of the things that I always couldn't quite understand is, like, you see players like Tyreek Hill of a certain stature who are just incredible at jumping, high pointing, and making contested catches. That was not in the Marquez Valdez-Scantling toolbox. He was not a great player.
Played short
when it came to contested catches. So one thing I'm asking from Tyquan is, hey, if we're going to throw the ball deep and we want to get a little bit more accuracy and a little bit more production with that, you got to fight through that last defender to make that catch in a way that maybe Marquez Valdez-Scantling wasn't accustomed to doing, or we weren't sure he could do it on a consistent basis.
How are you viewing the linebackers? We know Nick Bolton out with an illness today. Drew Tranquill continues. We're about a week in now of this back spasm, veteran back spasm thing.
He's just he's fine.
I assume so. I assume so.
Fine.
But he's not out there. Boss at one point was hurt. He's back out there.
Right. Can I say something?
Boss got eliminated from Camp Island today.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Yeah.
For people who have not been out here, he looks more like a safety.
Bossa.
Yeah.
Like what Connor used to do.
He just doesn't. You can say maybe he's a tweener. I'm just saying the way the body looks to me, the framing, the frame of his size. I mean, text line, if you've been out here, let me know. But
you got to take on defensive linemen as a linebacker.
Aloy Gilman looks bigger than him at times.
Oh. So do you think it'll be more Cochran and that grouping and Cooper McDonald and
I don't. They're in a tough spot because I think Boston needs to play more. I completely agree with that, but can he be every 3-down linebacker? I'm not sure because he just doesn't have the body that resembles that. He feels more.
Leo was a big dude.
Leo was Leo was an athlete. I tell you.
Yeah, top tier.
Yeah,
athlete.
And I just think, man, if you could guarantee me that Boston can cover running backs, I'm all for it, right? Like if we know, maybe we can get him a little bit more in dime personnel. I don't mind him necessarily being in nickel. I don't know if he's going to be first down base, 2 tight ends are being presented to us, that might be more of the Jack Cochran category. But, I think Boss is more of a tweener. And I think we need to all accept that he doesn't have the prototypical linebacker size, especially for a Steve Spagnuolo defense. That is a Drew Tranquill or a Nick Bolton or a Jack Cochran.
Is that, I guess, part of that is, I guess some of this is guessing what the league is going to do. The tweener guys have been more popular lately because people have been not worried about stopping the run and worried about stopping the intermediate and the short passing game and just forcing teams to do everything kind of close to the line of scrimmage. So I guess the question is really, will the league stay doing that because there's been a resurgence of running backs because of these tweeners? Because the guys like Boston people are running the ball more.
Yeah.
So I don't – like some of it is like they're guessing.
Yes.
And look, at least they got other guys in case the league doesn't go that route.
Correct.
Who maybe would be more run-stuffing guys. Plus, they got more run-stuffing defensive linemen than they've had in years.
A while.
Tonga, Woods, Jones, even Felix, I think, is better at run than he is in pass.
And
so, like, as a defensive end, I think that's a better skill for him,
Yeah, when do you think we see Agba start to practice? We saw him standing out. We saw him standing out at practice today.
Next week. Next week seems fine. Today is Wednesday. They have one more practice tomorrow.
And it's a light one.
Then we'll get ready for the Rams on Saturday. Everybody comes back up here on Monday. I don't know if he has to do the conditioning test. I guess that would be the fun part about it for Emmanuel Agba. But I expect him to be in the mix on Monday.
Was Drew Rosenhaus here for Agba, or is he trying to get Tyreek a deal? I saw him up there.
Yeah. Oh, he was
here
too.
And I went to the point of looking up who he reps. He reps one guy nobody knows. He reps Joshua Simmons and Agba. That's it. That's his client list at the moment. Simmons doesn't need a contract anytime soon. We got a couple years on that one.
Every now and
relationship building.
Yeah, every now and then you just
pop into camp.
You want to see your guy, check in, how you doing? Let's have a bite to eat. Tell me all your concerns. Tell me all the positives. I mean, I took, ladies and gentlemen, I have a ball cap on today. I took it off. I obviously gave him a nice, tip of the cap.
Sir?
Hello? I'm sure they don't want to see us talking together. I think everybody knows who they is.
Yeah.
So how's our guy doing out there in South Florida?
How's the leg?
I just want to check in. How's he doing? He's still putting out videos, right?
There was a new one out like today or yesterday, wasn't
there? Yesterday. So, you can have a conversation or two. Let's make sure we're outside. Nothing's being recorded. But I can meet you up back and talk about someone if you want another update. You want me put him on. Oh, we could actually get him on the phone. Let's see. Is he out of his workout? Yeah.
He just wants to say hi. He misses the guys.
Tyreek Hill. And is Patrick in there? Bring Patrick outside. Let him have a nice chat.
Man, it's crazy. The way this game works.
Why else would you come here?
I mean, I wouldn't for Agba's 1 year vetman deal. I'm not flying out on that one. He's got no other other than just like relationships, right?
Relationships.
You're going to have to do a lot of deals with Brett Veach over the next 10 years, just based on who you are and the fact that Brett Veach is a good, GM who's going to keep his job.
Remember, when you play college football 27, always be recruiting. And if you're an agent in the NFL, always be getting to the next contract.
Yeah.
He saw the Darnell Wright contract and said, I got to get my guy Josh Simmons ready to go here in the next couple of years.
I tell you right now, if NFL did it the way Major League Baseball did, I'd sign guys up early all the time if they'd let me in the NFL. The only problem is in the NFL, people wouldn't risk it because
there'd be some.
You'd have to be like one of one guys to actually.
Nate Taylor be writing a column today saying they need to lock up Cyrus Allen already, get him a future
lock him up
for the next 8 years.
I don't know if I go that far, but yeah, give me one preseason game. Give me a couple preseason game highlights. Hey, come over here, young man.
I'll be asking J.J. Piccolo next week about Jack Caglione. Baseball knows how it works.
Sure.
Dude, he is
white hot.
He's worth checking in. Like,
would you take the old family deal? Not the discount, but
no, but he's got to be willing to do it as well, right?
Right. And again, he's got a what is this take on the future of the organization? You're going to be around when Salvi's probably not going to be.
I think it probably helps when Bobby Wood Jr.'s under contract.
It'd be you and Bobby. Who knows? Mike Hill might be around. Who knows about Vinny? But he's worth it, man. He's worth like checking them out because as much as I love Bobby Witt, like I know him, consistent, solid, really good player. Like man, when he hits a double in the gap, beautiful. But this different. This different. He hitting missiles, guys. So I know they're not on one. I know they're not going to win that many games, especially against top level teams like the Dodgers. But they're making the Dodgers work for it.
No, they blow it in the 8th inning every time. It's always the same thing. Lucas said coming out of the bullpen, I'm like, well, this game's over, but at least it was competitive. At least
it was fun. Yeah,
I'm glad we all had fun for a little bit. They've lost 5-6 and 4-5 the last 2 nights, and both were they had the lead late. Yep. Bullpen came in.
Yep.
Adios.
And there goes Mookie Betts.
And
the beautiful part about the Royals is, man, they really need to be better next season. And boys, please play next season. Like, come on, guys, we don't need a lockout. We need They need a salary cap. They need to understand that like there's got to be some range in all of this, man. I mean, I know that the Guardians are spending no money and getting away with it.
I get so mad at teams like the Guardians. I just want the Royals to operate at that level. I understand. I'm not trading the World Series, but they have they just updated the farm system. They got the 7th-ranked farm system,
it's a pretty good system,
and they compete every year. Every year they got a great system and they compete. I'm like, I want that.
That's called a coaching staff that develops players.
I honestly think that so much more than even like the major league part is. I think the Royals' fundamental issue is at the scouting level. I think that they have an issue with draft development and scouting.
Unless it's like
and some of the guys we spent a lot of time talking about the hitting coach who's been here for 6 months or 2 years. And we do not talk about like heads of scouting who've been here for 20.
No, there's a whole group.
And the turnaround of potential that has been coming out of that unit for a while. When's the last you guys have not had a top 10 unit, but like one time you've been picking near the top of the draft
for
a while.
So their hit rate is it's
not high enough.
Inconsistent. Yeah,
it's not high enough.
But look, I love the fact that we always ask the Royals to get us here. Jack Caglione has got us here. It's been nice. What's the now? This is a 3 p.m. kickoff. So
Saturday,
you got to be a sicko to sit down and watch this.
The Royals, by the way, will be on 6:10 a.m.
That's right.
There's a scheduling conflict. So
yes.
for the games where the Chiefs,
I don't know why this Chiefs game is at 3 in the afternoon. Is it on TV?
Because Andy's a maniac.
Some TV purpose. Is it some TV
Does Andy
purpose?
have a say in the preseason start time?
3 p.m. on
does?
Saturday.
Yes, they're the home team. Yes, this is what we want to play.
Andy says when they want to play.
Yeah. We don't need all this nonsense. Now I think they play a night game against Tampa Bay, right? That'll be Tampa. Now that's obviously South Florida and the Heat. You probably want that game at night. But yeah, of course he has a say in this. Like you got to be a sicko. You're gonna come out to the yard.
Best thing ever happened for Andy is that he wasn't also the GM, because genuinely it was taken away from the football stuff.
Yeah,
if he's worried about kickoff start times for a preseason game,
well, I think
Andy, you need to be less worried about some other stuff.
Well, I think again, all of this is
that's a small time.
All of this is an evaluation. Like, hey, give me the height of the day where the sun's going to be right under us. And let's
Thinks
see
about it all.
Let's see it, And also, if we play it earlier, we get to bring earlier. Asking you to,
that's true.
Not asking, hey, say hi to your family, say hi to your girl, get everything back on the truck because we're coming right back here on Sunday.
4 more days.
For 4 more days of this nonsense.
None of us are counting at all, though.
No, not at all. I mean,
none of us are counting.
Like Travis Kelce said, this is our sanctuary. This is where the greats become greats.
That's exactly right.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that dorm room.
Be telling stories 10 years from now. When do we have to go to St. Joe? Now you just drive to Olathe. Now you just drive to Olathe. You guys don't know what it was like driving to St. Joe. Now we're just driving 15 minutes to Olathe.
Who would be the coach? I want to ask fans this. Who would be the coach that you would say, okay, this person's coming in after Andy Reid, a legacy, you're following a legend, guy who's obviously a first-ballot Hall of Famer in the coaching ranks. This is your spaceship.
You have Mahomes.
And the whole organization is saying, nah, bro. Nah, bro. We got to stay in Olathe. Who's the coach that you would be like, I'm actually okay with Jimmy Johnson, whatever, being like, actually.
There won't be a coach at that time. There won't be a coach.
Okay, well, there you go.
There won't be.
I mean, how many coaches still like to leave?
There's only like 5 teams that go away.
Who did John Harbaugh work under?
Yeah.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, by then there just won't be any of the younger coaches.
70. I don't want
any of the younger coaches won't go away from camp.
I told Alex, and I know we got to get to a break, but like, I told Alex when the Giants hired him, I'm like, I think it's the right call. And they're like, well, Andy was
West Virginia, here we come.
They said, Andy was older. He was like a decade younger than Harbaugh when he came to Kansas City. Hiring a 63-year-old, hiring a 64-year-old, I don't often think that's the right call.
Yeah,
I think very rarely in the head coaching circle is that the right call. Like, I almost always, look, I'm not saying you got to hire, like it goes south with the Adam Gases of the world, too.
Right.
The Giants needed some respectability, though.
True.
They needed some respectability.
That might be the right roster for just straight-up discipline. They still got a guy doing a backflip on a stage.
Incredible.
Couldn't even look it. Scadaboo did. I will say, he got a day to camp and he said, I'll talk to Coach.
Yeah.
I bet you did.
I bet you did. The beauty of it, too, is like, unless you're Jerry Jones, the Cowboys go out to Oxnard every year, so that's its own sort of category. But, yeah, there's not that many teams. I mean, Mike McCarthy, God bless him, has in some ways changed from the Mike Tomlin, but they're still up there in St. Vincent or whatever, in Latrobe, So, once those guys all phase out, we'll we won't be in the trees anymore.
Nate Taylor from ESPN will let you get back inside, man. We'll talk to Nate tomorrow. Up next, we'll get to some of Drew's camp questions and the random question of the day.
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
FanDuel is giving new customers up to $1,000 in bet resets. Bet $5 daily and unlock your $200 in bet resets every day. That's right. New customers can place a $5 bet each day and receive up to $200 in bet resets up to $1,000 total. So whether you're betting player props, money line, same game parlay, whatever, FanDuel has you covered. Place your daily $5 bet and unlock up to $1,000 in bet resets. Head to FanDuel.com/local to get started. FanDuel, your home for the home runs. FanDuel is the official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 deposit required. Minimum $5 wager required for 5 consecutive days. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bet reset tokens. Refund from bet token issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Max refund $200 per day. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
That pallet of pavers collecting dust, the beginnings of a garden, those stray fence posts. Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help, and help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
For over 36 years, Metal by the Foot has been your source for steel, aluminum, brass, and stainless. Located in Casey and Topeka. Online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
All right, we're back here in St. Joe. Alex Gold, Cody Tapp with you here at Mo West. Practice wrapped up about an hour ago. If you missed what Travis Kelce had to say, you'll hear that again around 1:30 or so. Let's briefly pivot away, though, from Chiefs training camp and go out to the Golden Oak Lending phone line and welcome in our Royals insider, Josh Vernier, who's staying up extra late here this week with some West Coast games. The Dodgers, of course, already taking the first two of this series. Before we get to Jack Caglione's recent play, I want to go back to earlier in the week when you had a chance to sit down with John Sherman, Royals owner and CEO. Obviously a lot there, Vern, that you guys went over, including the stadium. What did you make of his comments about J.J. Picollo? Because it was very evident in that conversation that J.J. Picollo has still plenty of confidence, or his owner, I should say, has plenty of confidence in him and his ability to moving forward.
Yeah, it obviously backed everything that we've heard from J.J. as far as the organization's belief that this team can compete in 2027 and can rebuild a pitching staff both at the big league level and down in AAA. Honestly, if I'm J.J. Picollo, I think I'm the happiest person to hear that interview because, this time last week, despite the confidence of the front office that they could rebuild this pitching staff, I wasn't a believer because I wasn't necessarily sold that the organization would throw the type of money at the rotation that is going to be required to rebuild a playoff caliber rotation and a playoff caliber pitching staff. I thought JJ might have to do this once again in the margins, and he might have to do that when it comes to the bullpen. But, John Sherman put it on himself. If we get to opening day 2027 and the rotation is subpar, even if the Royals' payroll remains 16th, 17th, 18th, middle of the road for Major League Baseball, which is good for the Royals, I think it'll be fair for us to point a finger at ownership and say you still didn't do enough. You could have thrown even more money at this issue. So, honestly, I think John Sherman did exactly what we want our owners to do and say, I will fix this. Just like Clark Hunt fixed everything going on over with the Chiefs from the Romeo Crennel to Andy Reid. That was all Clark Hunt. And now John Sherman says, go ahead and put 2027 on me.
I think if I were Sherman, legitimately, the meetings I would have is, Do we want to look like the Angels with Trout or Ohtani? Like, they have one of the 3 best young players in baseball, one of the 3 best players in the sport, and they stink. Like, that to me would be deeply concerning. How can we have one actual superstar, one guy who is on a hell of a path for a young player in this league, or at least one of the best young power hitters in the league? I'd be asking myself every day, how do I not win with those 2 guys on the roster at the same time?
Yeah, especially in this market, Cody, because if the Royals didn't draft Bobby Witt Jr., Carter Jensen, Jack Caglione, Vinny Pasquantino, if they didn't sign and develop Maikel Garcia, they don't get players like this. The only way you get 5-tool all-world talents in Kansas City is by drafting them, signing them, and developing them. They don't come here in free agency until they're at the end of their career. So while you have, like you mentioned, Bobby, Cags, they put Carter Jensen into the conversation. This is one of the top 6 or 7 catchers in Major League Baseball, and he's the youngest player on your team. So when you have that trio, not to mention the 5-tool talent of Mike Cal and the future Hall of Famer in Salvador Perez, and a guy that's for the past 4 years, not this year, but for the past 4 years, has been a well above average hitter in Vinny Pasquantino. When you have that 6-pack of sluggers, all homegrown, if you allow any one of those seasons to slip away because, we don't have the pitching and we're not going to allocate the resources to supplement the pitching, that's a pretty tough look for a business, right? For a businessman that is John Sherman to have this much quality goods and not get your return for it because you don't put the money in pitching-wise, that's just bad business. So the fact that they are going to try at least to surround this core with the type of pitching they need to make 2027 competitive, we can praise ownership if we want, but bottom line, it's just smart business. Kansas City fans will turn their back on this team rather quickly next season because there are so many other options for our entertainment dollar.
We've talked to Josh Vernier, Royals insider. We know fans in large part have certainly given their thoughts on Matt Quatraro this year, whether you're out at Kauffman, whether you're on social media, whether you're talking to people at a bar watching a game. I thought it was interesting his name didn't come up in the interview. Even when you asked him about JJ and you talking about his confidence there, I thought maybe he would sneak in there. Maybe we feel good about the job JJ and Q doing. Did you read it the same way? I just thought it was interesting that the manager of the team that has one of the worst teams in baseball, talking about 2027, his name didn't come up.
I didn't. I also didn't bring his name up to John Sherman. And if that's something that the fan base wanted to hear, if they wanted me to ask Sherman about Q, well then my bad, right? My job is to ask the questions that the fans want to hear. And if they wanted to hear that, I apologize. But you guys know where I stand on the manager. It's a general manager's game. That's the guy that runs things. It's the head coach in the NFL. It's the in the NBA. It's the general manager in Major League Baseball. And I have a good relationship with J.J. Piccolo, both on the record and off the record, that I know exactly where he stands with Matt Quatraro. Q is executing just about everything he wants him to do. It's not as if Q has ever run rogue and done something counter to what JJ wants. So, obviously we addressed JJ Piccolo, and you got a big old sign off from John Sherman on his general manager. So once I received that, Q's safe in my mind. But again, if people wanted to hear me ask the question, I apologize. I didn't do the job. But no, I didn't read into the fact that that John Sherman didn't mention Q because he wasn't addressed about Matt Quatraro. So if anything, it's the interviewer's issue.
Vern, is it wrong the last couple of nights watching some late West Coast baseball, a good reminder of this, is it wrong for me to just watch the Royals and view progress the rest of the season as a 7-inning team? Because if it gets to the 8th or the 9th, it's just going to go the way that it goes because it's the same guys. Because the last two nights is a large majority of what's happened all year in the bullpen. And that's not – those guys, unless the names eventually change with some of the signings they made, whatever, right? I guess it just doesn't change my feeling on the team that they lost late yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, the 8th, 9th, and 10th, honestly, to me, were the most interesting innings as far as 2027 is concerned. To your question, yeah, watch these games as if you're watching spring training for 2027. I mean, the wins and losses don't really matter all that much anymore unless you're trying to avoid the brutality of another 100-loss season. Royals right now on pace for 96 losses. But going into that game yesterday, I found it interesting with Michael Wacha on the hill. What are we watching Wacha for? Like, when you tune in to watch a Wacha starts, I mean, there's no statistic or milestone. There's no incentive that he needs to reach. It's honestly just, please stay healthy because holy crap, are you vital to 2027. What I wanted to see yesterday on the mound was I wanted to see the only three relievers I really give a damn about, Steven Cruz, Lucas Erceg, and Nate Pearson. Lucas Erceg, I understand, a horrible season, but we know there is above-average stuff in there, and my question is, can he find confidence at the big league level, or do we just have to completely wait until opening day next year to hopefully get that Lucas Erceg back? He was put in a no-win situation last night in the 10th inning after his offense failed to push across a run in the top half. That game last night more, in my opinion, is on Bobby and Salvi for not coming through in the 10th than it is on the bullpen. Nate Pearson, we've known that stuff is real. Good slider, triple-digit fastball. That's exactly what this team needs, Cody. As you know, they just don't have swing-and-miss stuff with the loss of Avila and Cole Reagans. It's Steven Cruz and then a huge drop-off. Starters and relievers, you don't have swing-and-miss stuff. So I like seeing Steven Cruz get that opportunity against the heart of the Dodgers lineup. You can't give up free bases the way that he did. Cruz also a culprit in last night's loss. But Cruz, Pearson, Erceg all get the opportunity in high leverage against, in front of nearly 50,000 at Dodger Stadium. So, yeah, to your question, always view this team with, it kind of skewed towards 2027. But honestly, the bullpen right now is just as interesting as the rotation because Lugo and Wacha can't really prove anything to anybody this season. I guess
Lynch
Daniel
today,
Lynch,
Yeah.
Daniel Lynch is somewhat interesting, but again, the lack of swing and miss, I'm not really a believer that he's going to be a rotation piece long term. Noah Cameron, I think we're encouraged by him, but now it's can you do it to start the season? So again, long-winded answer. Those three names you saw in the bullpen late. To me, those are three of, if not the most intriguing arms remaining on this team down the stretch.
You mean you're not intrigued to watch the 38-year-old Craig Kimbrell pitch at some point? That's not intriguing enough for you at all out west?
Not
this
at all.
weekend?
Not at all, other than the randos that are going to get the Craig Kimbrell jersey and use it as a flex for the next 10 years.
Future Cutting Gold Garage Sale item. You get that Roy Kimbrell jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. Vern, appreciate it, man. We'll check in next week.
Thanks, guys.
That is Josh Vernier, our Royals insider on the Golden Oak Lending phone line.
Right now it's just tough because the end of the game is like the least important part of the game, and you have long been on the record of saying it is hard to take what happens on August 12th in a game that the Royals don't need and doesn't matter is gospel.
Yeah.
But, they're going to try to compete in 2027.
Clearly.
So I have to look at the rest of this year as an audition for the people. So, the bullpen is interesting when it's the names that I think are a lot of the new names. I'm not surprised when it goes south in some of the other directions. So it'll be something we watch the rest of the way. Cags has been. He's got a 10-game hitting streak. He's hit every single day in August that they've played a game. Yeah. He had 2 again last night. He's been incredible once again. It's just I get so annoyed because I sent out the tweet the other night when they had blown the game 2 days ago to the Dodgers. To have a top 3 player in baseball and a top 3 player, young player, how about under 23, 4 in the sport, and just stink? This team could be so much fun. Bobby, Cags, Carter Jensen.
Yeah, it's a reminder, though. No doubt.
Pitching
it's a reminder,
is king.
Pitching is a currency of baseball.
Oh, it is. Always has been.
That's what it's a reminder of. You're 100% right about the young core. but pitching is everything. They have the worst bullpen in baseball, essentially.
Yeah, I don't know if it's essentially.
And, yeah, I said that because I wasn't sure if they're still dead last. It's one of the worst in Royals history, so it probably is. And we know the rotation outside of Waka and Lugo has been iffy, to say the least, with injuries and performance.
You're going to make me look it up just because I want to know.
While you're doing that.
Is it really the worst?
I'll let you do that. A reminder, though, we are broadcasting live in St. Joe. Our training camp coverage presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. In the 1 o'clock hour, we're going to hear from Khalil Benson, who has been getting a lot of work at right guard with Trey Smith out. We'll also talk more about starts to an NFL season and an interesting comment from LaShawn McCoy about legacies with wide receivers. But let's get to the random question of the day.
Random question.
Second worst bullpen in baseball, Alex. You watch your tone.
That's why. See, I said essentially. See, I was covering myself.
29.
Who's worse? I said essentially.
5.36 earned run average. The Athletics post a 5.83 ERA. By the way, they are the two worst by a mile. The next team ahead of the Royals is 0.4 full runs ahead of Kansas City.
Yikes.
If you're curious, the best bullpens in baseball boast an ERA of 2.91. That is the Boston Red Sox. If you're curious how they turned their season around, that might be one of many reasons why they did it. But for you, Gold, for you, Drew, over on the text line, 913-586-7965. Of course, on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, where we live stream the show, interact with you. Even on the days we're not in studio, we will be back on Friday in studio, and then starting next Thursday back in studio all the time again, as training camp will eventually be over, so you can watch us on the video stream. Alex is still decapitated over there, but at least you can still see it.
Yes.
Random question I have for you today is just a good old classic, I would call it a drunkard random question. Something you'd sit around hanging out with your buddies and ask the random question. So, for you guys today, if you were abducted by an alien,
okay,
objectively, you were, Alex, you were abducted by an alien, and you have zero proof. You cannot offer any proof to anybody. You can't show a photo. They can't do a brain. You have no proof. Would you tell people?
So I'm abducted, but I got back somehow.
You're abducted, you got back. Okay. You have zero proof you were abducted, but you know you were. Would you tell someone, but you're sane in every capacity.
Yeah.
Would you tell someone you were abducted?
Sure.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
They aren't going to believe you.
I'd come on this radio show the very next day. You guys won't believe me,
Everyone's
but I would
think you're insane.
I think there's enough of a track record. I would like to think of us doing the show for almost 7 years.
That Alex is a normal,
that if
logical
I
person.
came on the show next week and I was completely serious in how I talked.
And you said,
I said, I think there would be people that would say he's not. But
I'd go.
I think
I'd go home and I'd say,
I think
Alex
we have
might be going crazy.
I think we have a reputation at least now on the show that they know we're not really in the business of just making stuff up. So I think if I came on the show next week and said, by the way, this weekend I was abducted by aliens, as crazy as that sounds, and I gave you a detailed account, there would be plenty of people I feel like that would believe me.
I'd want to believe you, man, but I don't know that
you
I
wouldn't
would.
believe me is what you're telling me.
I don't know that I would.
You think I'd be making
I
it
don't
up?
have any proof of it. It's crazy.
Okay.
I'd be like, so when did this happen? I feel like I'd want to believe you, but then I'd go home and Em and I'd be sitting on the couch and I'd be like, I don't know. I'll tell you this much. I would be recommending you to get a therapist, and I would be like, just to be safe, maybe see somebody. Take a couple of shows.
You think that just randomly out of nowhere, I would come on the show and lie that I was abducted by aliens?
Maybe a brain
out of the
bleed.
blue?
I don't know.
I
can't be sure. Drew, you said you tell people?
Yeah.
You guys sound so matter of fact. I thought there'd be more of a debate. I don't think I would.
You just keep it quiet?
I think I'd be too afraid that everyone thought I was insane. If I told people, it would take a long time and under very serious. I think I would wait 2 months to tell my wife. I think
I wouldn't wait.
Months,
I would.
Months
You wouldn't
and
tell
months
your
before I told my wife.
I think that's crazy.
What? Because when you feel here's a real example. When I started having panic attacks, I waited a while to tell my wife.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'll just go away. And I was like, I'll just go away. So I don't,
But this is even more traumatic, I would argue.
I know.
Alien abduction.
But I would think that she's like, oh, no, my husband's gone crazy. He's an insane person. That he's having a mental health episode and is breaking down. And I wouldn't want to have that conversation when I would be like, no, I was actually abducted by aliens. Because when you start defending yourself, because you would, you'd be like, I should have you like, I was abducted by aliens.
Well, I wouldn't tell your kids.
I'm not
I
making
wouldn't tell
this
your
up.
kids.
You'd start to. I think anybody saying it, even if it's true, comes off like a little bit of a nutter. Like it is impossible to convince people you're not a little crazy by telling them.
Someone says, I trust Gold more than the gear. Well,
good
that's
call
a good call. Someone says, we remember the Arizona tour guide, Gold. Nobody will believe you. Well, that's a real story.
That is a real story.
I have multiple people that can confirm that. That's a very real story. In fact, Cody even, unfortunately,
I'm a big part of that
unfortunately,
story because of our
unfortunately, Cody can confirm more than anybody.
Of all timing. I'll never forget the timing.
Walking down the elevator at the same time. Unbelievable.
Really incredible if you think about it. Text line right now, someone says, now they're just asking the other stuff. Says this would be a perfect trash of the day story that no one would believe him. Again, I just don't know that.
My guess is also, I must say, if I actually got abducted by aliens in this crazy hypothetical, I'm figuring they're not giving me back. I'm gone forever anyway.
In this hypothetical, they send you back.
I don't think they're just taking you and bringing you back a week later.
They ran a couple of blood tests and you're back. And by the way, you're only gone for an amount of time that, like, you're not gone for a week, because a week someone probably believes you. Actually, you're just gone for a week. I'll believe that you were abducted by an alien. You're gone for, overnight trip, which is the hypothetical in this case.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would wait a long time before I told anybody. I'd be like, would you guys believe me if I told you I was abducted by aliens?
Are you convinced that there's...
This would be a real soft launch. Like, would you guys believe me if I told you I was abducted?
I would believe you, because it's so insane for you to just all of a sudden start trying to convince
Making that
people.
up, yeah.
Someone on the text I was asking, do you believe that there are aliens living among us on planet Earth?
So
do you believe
is there
that?
other life in the entire universe?
Oh, well, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's, I think, a
Is
definitive
there-
yes.
Yeah,
almost.
there's no question.
What about on Earth right now? Are there aliens walking among us?
I don't think so.
Men in Black style.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so. I definitely
Do you
believe
think an aliens
in,
ever landed on Earth and then maybe was captured or something?
No. Our civilization's not that old in the universe department, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, human beings aren't that old when you think about it in the history of how old the
that's why
universe is. So, no, I don't think any of them come here.
That's why I think if the other life that's out there, I have a very good chance they're way more advanced than we are, wherever that is.
Oh, yeah.
Way more advanced than us. Like, we joke about flying cars. My guess is there are flying cars some other planet.
Yeah, probably, or whatever is
And
better
we're
than
probably
that.
more advanced than others out there, too.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag.
You know?
I don't think it's
We're
just
getting
one
real
thing.
deep now on this conversation.
We are. That's what the random question's for sometimes. Drew, do you think your wife would believe you?
I would think so.
Yeah,
We had the moon conversation with her a couple of years ago, though.
I would definitely tell her if it were to happen. I would say within the 24-hour span, I probably would tell her. I would tell my parents and my brother and sister for sure, and I think they would all believe me. Actually,
I think legitimately for at least full weeks before I discuss this with anybody.
I can't believe
I'm going to need some time. I'm going to need some time to process. Because I don't part of me would think that I had a mental health breakdown and that none of it is real. Part of me would be like, oh God, this can't be real, can it? And what's going to happen when I tell people that I got abducted by aliens? It would take me a while.
if they're cool, honestly, Cody, if you came on the show, or it wasn't not even on the show, but you told Gold and I that you were abducted by aliens, they'd be like, dang, did they do anything? Like, did they do? Like, I would believe you, but it would be like, if you're like, I really don't know what they did exactly. I'd be like, hey, man, that sucks. I would believe you. Like, I wouldn't say you're crazy. I would just be like, yeah, Cody got abducted by aliens. I mean, that's
Somebody
that's,
says
that's
it's
tough.
exactly like the Randy Quaid situation in Independence Day, in fairness. He's trying to tell people for years and years and years and years and years he was abducted by aliens. No one believed him, and then the aliens showed up. And he's like, yeah, it was those dudes. I don't know why you guys were ignoring me this whole time. I just think of it, it is hard to not seem crazy if you were legitimately claiming it. My wife is, in a weird way, it's like the more pragmatic of a person, in fairness, Gold, to your point. The more likely you are to believe him, Alex has never spun a web, right? If the year told me he was abducted by aliens, I'd be like, yeah, right, pal. Good luck ever convincing me. You told me you were on a plane you weren't on. There's no way. But, you have never told me some weird big lie. It'd be confusing what you told me.
All right, that's the random question of the day. Up next, let's get to the 1 o'clock hour. We're going to hear from Khalil Benson, Chiefs rookie offensive lineman, who was getting reps as the number one right tackle prior to Trey Smith's injury, which has bumped him inside to right guard. We'll hear from him. Also, Drew's got some camp questions right here on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Kansas City football fans, Dana Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
You've pictured it. The garage door that finally makes your home look the way you want it to. And now get $500 back on a qualifying garage door with the Overhead Door Home Refresh rebate. Qualifying purchase must be made by September 30th. Let Overhead Door Company of Kansas City upgrade your curb appeal and get you up to $500 back. Schedule a free estimate at overheaddoorkc.com. Overheaddoorkc.com. Select models. Rebate paid as a Visa prepaid gift card. Restrictions apply. See website for full terms.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Hi, guys. This is the Rocket Roger Clemens. You don't pitch in the majors for 24 years without feeling it later. Shoulders, elbows, knees. Trust me, pain doesn't retire when you do.
That's baseball legend Roger Clemens.
I tried the ice. I tried rest, PT, nothing really worked. When I heard about QC Kinetics, the concept sounded promising. Non-surgical regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself without surgery. Sign me up, just what I needed, real lasting relief.
Whether you're a former pro, a weekend golfer, or just want to walk around pain-free again, QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge technology and natural biologics to help restore and repair damaged tissue.
I trusted them with my joints. Now I'm back doing what I love.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299.
816-412-6299.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Tune in to Cody and Gold starting at 10 as they broadcast live from Chiefs training camp with exclusive one-on-one interviews and real-time updates from practice. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
1 o'clock hour here in St. Joe. Cody and Gold broadcasting live. Of course, our camp coverage is presented by Break Time. Whether fueling up or grabbing a snack on the way to training camp, Break Time reminds you not all convenience stores are the same. Download their app and find a location near you. Travis Kelce spoke after practice today. You'll hear that coming up around 1:35. He talked about his wedding. He talked about being kind of the old man over at camp and reminding some of the young guys. He also was asked about the young players, and the first name he mentioned essentially was Cyrus Allen. So we'll hear from Travis. And maybe even a bit of an indictment on Matt Nagy, when he was asked about having Eric Bieniemy and, the discipline aspect and all of that, and how much they badly needed that. It is every time I hear that, whether it's from Travis or when we talk about it or when fans talk about it, it is pretty telling. And I know EB is a unique individual in terms of his old school mentality, but it's pretty damning when consistently everybody's like, yeah, we needed that guy because basically the prior guys weren't disciplined enough and holding us accountable. Yeah. And that's pretty damning. Matt Nagy's now in New York with the Giants. We'll see how things go with him. He's the offensive coordinator there. But anytime I hear that, I think, man, that's without actually calling out Matt Nagy, it feels like it's calling out Matt Nagy.
It is or at least they needed a change of pace. I want to make it clear. They won and attended Super Bowls with Matt Nagy.
For sure.
In an important role. They've won a Super Bowl and attended another Super Bowl in Matt Nagy being the offensive coordinator. So it's not as crazy to be like, the guy just stinks and can't do the job. But it seems pretty clear now that they were missing some of that, kick your ass mentality for a little bit. But maybe it's just coming at the right time. Right as the team finally bottomed for the first time in a really long time, they were going to Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. It didn't matter that it was Eric Bieniemy or Matt Nagy or Doug Peterson when they were having some winning ways or whatever. In the early going, there's one. And then, when you need everybody to, pick it up a notch because you're coming off a crap season, EB's probably the right guy for that. I will say, now, it's still got to work. Offense still has to operate. He can't just be the disciplinarian and then the offense is the 11th best in the league and I'm okay because he's hard on the guys. No. They got to score.
But that's where the day Eric Bieniemy was hired and brought back, I think we had the conversation that he enters a no-lose situation, I think, because if the offense is great, people are going to give him a lot of credit because it's different from last year. If the offense struggles again, people aren't going to blame Eric Bieniemy. It's going to be more than ever focused on Andy Reid. So I think it's a no-lose spot, actually, for Eric Bieniemy in terms of what this offense does or doesn't do in 2026.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm not going to let him off the hook.
Yes.
Publicly, I think you're probably right. People will blame Andy.
We'll hear from Travis coming up a little after 1:35. We've had a bizarre weather the last 35 minutes. Have you noticed this? So we had when Nate Taylor stopped by, it was sunny. He left 5 minutes later, downpour, overcast. Then the sun came back out, super hot, miserable. Then in the last 2 minutes, cloudy and overcast, thundering again. It's been very weird in the last half hour.
We just got to make it another 54 minutes.
That's it.
And then we'll be in the car on our way back to Kansas City feeling good, right?
Yes, and let's get back to camp. Drew's got a couple questions to throw away.
Camp questions.
All right, guys, I got two of them for you. The first one, we'll start off with Mansour Delane. So obviously we've had all this talk about, young players and the team's going to have to play younger guys. Cody, going back to a topic that you had earlier, just about not necessarily concerned, but should you be looking for this team to maybe be a little bit sputtering out of the gate just because they're reliant on the younger players and all the other things? Do we trust that Mansour Delane is going to be good? Obviously, he is the face of the draft class, if you will. Obviously, a top 6 pick, number 6 overall, a guy that's going to be relied on to not only be very good, but replace an all-pro corner in Trent McDuffie. Do we trust that he'll be good, or is it a Dave Merritt's going to make sure that he's ready to go sort of thing, or is he actually going to be the goods where his talent alone minus the development is going to be what we expect?
As I said, my expectation for Mansour Delane has not changed. I think he's going to be a stud pretty damn quick for this team. Do I hate that he's not actually tackling yet? Yes, although I'll mention, Cody, you noticed it as well. Today, while it's not tackling, he was more physical today. I don't know if that's like a sign that it's getting, he's getting closer, but he was more physical today. So I don't know if they're allowing him to do that. So that's just a good sign overall. But look, I think the communication part is what I could see being a problem early. Like I could see some communication problems between him and the other corners or safeties if he continues to miss time. That could lead to a blown assignment week 1, which would be really unfortunate.
You've got help over the top of you.
But in terms of his play and the whole season of work, it hasn't changed. Yeah, Drew, I think he's still going to be a stud this year.
We got a long history of corners taking top 10 in the draft, and you got like an 80% chance of getting like at least a Pro Bowler, a 50% chance of getting an All-Pro. There's really one guy in the last decade that hasn't worked, and that was Jeff Okudah. And I just trust their evaluation of corners. So, like my assumption is that when he's on the field, he'll be good. Like that there could be hiccups. Sure, he's a young corner, but that he'll just immediately be good.
Second thing for you, I didn't notice this exactly yesterday, but I saw Arrowhead Pride had put out something regarding Rashee Rice, and one of the comments that he had. I think this is maybe the most encouraging sign, actually. Anything but other than take all the on-field stuff out of it. The fact that Rashee Rice basically said he's got a good group of people around him is the best thing you could have heard from Rashee Rice from the standpoint of the off the field stuff, and you've got the right people around you. It sounds like you had to check yourself a little bit, and from there you've evaluated the person that you are, the people that need to be around you. That might be the best thing that he actually said out of his availability, was that he's got the right group around him now, and not people who are either going to put him in a bad position or encourage him in any type of way. That it feels like from that standpoint has been the biggest problem, and that's the thing that he, at least it sounds like, has resolved. I think that's the best thing that he said in his availability yesterday. I don't know if you guys agree, but hearing that made me think, okay, he actually has his stuff together a little bit more, it sounds like.
I mean, look, so overall, I hope so. For his sake, for, I guess, the Chiefs' sake as well. Like, I would love to sit here and tell you that we fast forward 5 years from now and Rashee Rice is never in trouble again. I would love that. That'd be an amazing story. You're going to have to prove it.
This is only show me, don't tell me.
Going to have to prove it.
Yeah.
You would have thought that he would have surrounded himself with better people after the actual car crash, and then he still was clearly making a poor decision. And, again, it's not about the weed. Nobody's saying you can't smoke weed. You can't when you're on probation, though, okay? So that was the problem. So the decision-making just 2 months ago or 3 months ago was crap. So I'm not going to say that after 30 days in jail, everything's good to go now. I like hearing it. You're right, Drew. It sounds good. It really does. I thought Rashee Rice at the podium yesterday said all the right things.
He did.
But
I agree.
Let's see how it goes. And I'm not. This is not me rooting against Rashee Rice. I just am extremely skeptical. That's all. There's a difference.
It's show me, don't tell me for sure with Rice. And look, this is always the problem with it. Plenty of times in covering sports and in just regular life, I've seen people take a wake-up call, take it very seriously, and stop getting in trouble and turn their lives around and all this other stuff. And I've seen plenty of other times who say they've learned their lesson and don't. Now, for Rashee Rice's case, if there's not someone in his ear yet saying, you're making the right decision, is the difference between no money and tens of millions of dollars. So, you got every incentive in the universe to get your life on track. I will say, unless you actually cut some of the people who are a bad influence out of your life, Not just said, hey, man, we got to all square up. No, you got to cut some people out of your world sometimes.
He should have moved to Kansas City full-time over a year ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't, but he should have.
Yeah, like, I mean, and everybody can stay clean for a year. He's got to prove it over years and years. And I'm like, because he kept getting in trouble for a stretch of time. Like, the problem was he compounded his mistakes. He didn't just make a mistake. He compounded them.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it. I hope it.
I really do.
I hope, it's one thing to have the accident, and he was very fortunate not to be behind bars right after that. But it's another thing when he actually spent 30 days in jail. I hope that was.
For some people, it takes that to.
I hope that was
there,
the low point and what needed caused him to change his life. I hope that's the case. That'd be a great story. But he's going to have to go out and prove it to everybody.
I'm not. I mean, I've had family members who went to jail and then never went back, Drew. Like, learned the lesson and moved on.
Yeah.
So that I hope.
Sure.
I hope that I mean, I don't know how it couldn't be. Rehabbing a knee injury, 30 days in lockup, and you're like, damn. And it's like, all I had to do is not smoke some weed. Oh, God. Like, that's got to be a bad feeling. Because it was just like, that wasn't a big mistake in its own right. It was only a big mistake because of the mistake you made before the mistake. And now you have to
shown time
toe
and
the
time
line.
again his judgment sucks.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to show that he's corrected that. That's the camp question.
Stay in the field, too, would be good from a health perspective.
Well, that absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the football end of it, too, on top of everything else.
The whole other part. Be reliable, be there for your
says Cody went to jail and never went back. That's true. That is true.
Since then. Since then,
it only took 8 hours for Cody.
I wasn't even in jail that long. I wasn't even there 8 hours. I think we got there like 10 o'clock at night, and I think I was out by 2 in the morning. 10 o'clock at night, 2 in the morning.
For 4 hours.
Well, it takes honestly, it's just a process.
The
it takes
booking
forever.
process.
They gotta put you in the back of the van. They gotta take you all the way down there.
You were in a van, not an actual.
Well, there was like a group
car?
of us, so they put us all in there together.
Okay, the wagon.
There's 4 of us, so we're in the back of the wagon. And I was coming off a knee surgery. I wish I was kidding.
Oh my gosh,
that's so funny. I had knee surgery, and so the cop was like, "Get in the van." I said, "Hey, I need help. I just had knee surgery. I can't just push off on that leg the same way." I told you I was in the car. I didn't hit any mailboxes that night. I want to make it clear I'm definitely guilty of that crime in general. I did not hit any mailboxes that night. They were just like, "Come on, man, come along," because I was coming off the knee surgery. I'm like,
you were an accessory to the crime.
I was an accessory to the crime. And so so then they got to do the fingerprints and do all this stuff before they ever give you a phone call. It takes a long time to get processed,
Yeah.
And then
I don't know, but yeah.
You've seen it on TV.
So back to football things. We missed discussing this right after Travis Kelce because Nate stopped by. Obviously, wanted to talk to Nate, and you'll hear the full Travis Kelce audio coming up around 1:35. But Travis, as he does a lot of times, was making fun of Patrick Mahomes' voice. Did you hear, and Drew I think has it ready, did you hear the cadence that Travis did of Patrick Mahomes' cadence, how it compares to yours? Here was Travis doing a cadence acting like he was Mahomes.
The guy's got a good cadence. There's something with the frequency of his voice, and when he says, it really gets you.
Now, compared to yours, Cody, what do you think?
I need to pull his up.
Hold on, Drew's looking for it.
Which one do you want?
Just the first one, the OG.
All right, here we go.
His sounds longer. Like he holds out the hut longer. I still think mine's fine. The next player, if we ever get a player on the defensive line, have we not had a single player on the defensive line? We said we were going to play for somebody on the defensive line. We have not a single one. No Gelati, no Karlaftis, no Jones, no Woods. We've had no defensive linemen.
R. Mason Thomas.
R. Mason Thomas. We should have asked R. Mason. Damn.
We could have.
That was our chance.
We might have another defensive player.
We get another defensive lineman. We will play it for him.
Yeah.
His Patrick Mahomes impression's not bad.
He's had years
really
of
good.
practice.
It's really good.
It's very solid.
Years of practice. Someone texted from the 816, "You guys are so bad. It sorts radio. No one wants to listen to your BS." You can change the channel. It's free for you to listen. You can, by all means, you can stop listening. You took the time to
Did
text
you say
in, though.
Sorts radio?
He said sorts.
Oh.
He took the time. He's so upset with the show that he took the time to text into the show and the station to tell us he doesn't like it. And by the way, it's free for you to listen, so please just change the channel. You don't have to listen. Thank you.
I mean, I gotta be honest. It's it's weird to say.
To take the time to text in. To let us know,
This would
you know?
be like walking into a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And you walk into a Chili's, and you're like, everything you make is disgusting.
But I'll have
this is awful.
But I'll have the chicken crispers.
I'll take some chicken crispers, please. No one's making you eat here.
Also,
There's 1,000
there you're
restaurants.
paying. This is free to you. Last time I checked, it's free. Don't
Sir,
listen.
There are 1,000 podcasts.
But he got his attention. I shouldn't have given him his
40,
attention. So that's what
If you
he
like college football, go listen to the 249 Miles of College Football podcast.
No, he said he hates us, Drew.
I don't know about you guys. I'm excited to work for Sorts Radio. So Sorts Radio is really fun.
Hey, but the 249 Miles of College Football podcast. We
Is it out? You got a new episode or what?
We stick to college football. Yeah, there's going to be a new episode coming
No
out today.
BS on that podcast.
If you're a Mizzou fan, you got it last week's season preview. KU,
All right.
KU season preview is this week. We'll get a video out on social too for that, and then K-State next week.
All right. Looking forward to that.
Sorry, Gold, I don't have
Game
the
by
Jayhawks
game.
doing well, unfortunately.
Well, I don't think they're going to have a great year either.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. You know, I think the
is
quarterback
there somebody who
quarterback's
does?
a big question mark.
They're over
We'll have
under
time to
6.5.
do that. Yeah.
That's because
it's about right, man. Unfortunately, I think that's about right. We'll give our season predictions. I'm a little nervous about how ugly things can get on a couple of those games this year. So I hope I'm wrong, but I'll go to a game or two this year. I just don't have high expectation. That's all, man. You know,
They don't have the stadium quite built yet. They will for the fall of
correct.
next
It's only
year.
going to be low 30s as far as capacity, because the upper side of the east side of the stadium won't be fully done yet. So getting close, not quite.
I just that's the part. I'm holding out to see the new stadium until it's built. You know?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like,
I will say,
wanna
I went
see it
last
built.
year. I went last year, and it was awesome. And I also think, look, you'll think I can't do this, but I think the new end zone there in Columbia looks awesome for what they did for Missouri as well. They finished up their renovations and addition, whatever you want to call it. But no, KU's new stadium last year I went to, it was phenomenal, considering the stadium I had gone to as a student and everything. It was a big change. All right, let's get back to the Chiefs, though. Khalil Benson, who has been one of the stories at camp. Unfortunately for him, he was getting the first-team reps at right tackle, and then Trey Smith got hurt, so they bumped him inside. It's kind of feels like it's kind of crushed his chances of being the starting right tackle if there was a slim chance of that happening. But he did speak to the media after practice today.
Man, honestly, man, just hard work and competition and consistency, bro. And I think that's really one of the biggest things I took. And didn't let the naysayers really say anything too much, and then kept my head down and kept driving forward. Yeah. It's been really good, man. I think it's really helpful for all of us. Actually, everything's been going good. I mean, I see everything as beneficial, you know what I'm saying, with the team, everything when it comes to the teammates and they're lifting us up, especially as rookies. You want to do the best as you can, especially to try to keep the coaches how they're supposed to be, and really take those coaching points and really keep everything and you know what I'm saying, moving forward.
Did you have any conversations with the Chiefs before the draft, and what led to your decision to try out for them?
Honestly, man, I just kind of kept my head down. I knew my time was going to come, and really just stay humble and stay faithful, and kept praying to God and just making sure that I was ready to be called when it was that time.
What was that draft process like for you? Was there disappointment not to hear anything?
Nah, honestly, man, because realistically, whatever position you get put in, you got to take it on the chin. Being a football player, stuff happens, you know, and just being able to just move past one thing and then be able to put the one foot before the other one and keep going and making sure that there's nothing left on the table for each. So, you know.
What is it like when you got signed and you get the chance? What was that?
Honestly, man, you know, it was good. I mean, I know coming in here, you're gonna be having those type of eyes on you and everything, but being a football player, you're gonna have a lot of fans looking at you, and then you got to get used to it and just being able to work and then be able to continue to work and being consistent in what you're doing. I feel like that's the biggest thing. So it was honestly a good thing. So yeah.
It was really significant to you, obviously, just knowing you had the moment, the opportunity, because I guess there could have been a time you doubted you were going to get the opportunity.
Nah, man, never. I mean, opportunity comes when we all work together, you know what I'm saying? So as a team, man, we got to put our best foot forward and then do what we got to do, you know what I'm saying, to keep everything going straight forward.
You haven't played in a game or even a preseason game yet, but when did you feel like, yeah, I belong here? Was that very early on, or was it when you got down here to camp? When did it click?
I mean, like I said, being a football player, it always has to click, you know. I think there's been really offensive lineman as well too, because you got to have it in the back of your mind, and whatever quarterback's behind you, you got to make sure that they don't get touched at all. So, as a football player and as an offensive lineman, man, our mind is always staying on the one goal and make sure the team does the best we can to make sure we get to where we need to go.
We'll go Nick and then Pete.
Khalil, for you, what do you take pride in as an offensive lineman that you want to put on tape for opponents to see?
Man, showing the humbleness, man, and the confidence, and the coaches being able to trust you, and being able to move forward when there's times to be corrected, being able to be corrected, and then being able to just go out there the next play and then do what you got to do the next play.
You've been a little outside, inside, these past couple of looks. I guess what's been the most challenging part about shifting back and forth?
I don't feel like it's really no challenge. Honestly, I mean, yeah, but you gotta be able to adjust when it's time and when your number's being called. You gotta be ready to adjust whatever happens, because you just never know what could happen. And at any point in time, you just gotta be ready to be moved forward, and then just have everything ready, and your mental ready, and then your body ready to go. So yeah.
Last one, Sam.
A lot of these guys that you're playing with played as rookies as well, played immediately. How has that been maybe helpful leaning on their experience?
I would say, man, like being able to take those coaching points from them and as well as from your coaches, because you just never know, like, because anything could happen. Like I said, like being ready and being able to be ready when your number is called. Those guys that are vets and everybody here has been making sure that all of us rookies have been on point and being able to have those coaching points when that time comes and their coaches say something that we need to answer to, we know we'll be ready for it. So honestly, man, I appreciate everything that's been going on here, man. They took us in and making sure that we're ready for whatever happens. So it's been really good here.
That was Khalil Benson, Chiefs offensive lineman, speaking to the media after practice today. A couple of things that are evident from listening, but also watching him at practice.
Big man.
Every bit of 6'6", 321. Every bit of 6'6", 321. He also very confident in how he was talking about his belief in himself, which you have to have, but still he was very confident. Undrafted guy. Clearly he was in the right frame of mind in terms of approaching the process. And it may not land him a starting opportunity this year, but for an undrafted guy to be in the conversation that he was in, I think at one point in time, maybe,
yes,
for the right tackle spot, to now learn another position, or I guess he played maybe at one point in time, but seemingly learn a new position in the middle of camp as well, and guard and play a lot while Trey Smith is very impressive.
I've decided to look at it from the positive instead of the negative, because I think there's two sides you could look at it. Because it'd be easy enough to just be like, wait a second, so you hate your backup guards? Like they stink? Because you immediately, the second that Trey Smith went down, went to Khalil Benson versus any of the other veterans you have available to you. I think that'd be the negative view of it. I actually think it means they love Khalil Benson. I genuinely think because of the way they've been treating him at right tackle and now guard, they just think Khalil Benson can play. They flat out think the guy can play. And so they're going to make sure that if there's a lineman called because of an injury, he's the first call.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's fairly obvious. Guard, tackle, wherever, he's the call.
And long term, this is such a great thing. I mean, there's probably going to be an offensive line injury that happens in the season because no team really makes it with everybody playing all 17. But you feel good about him moving forward beyond this year. The options it gives you, assuming this is the last year for Jalen Moore. So there's an option at right tackle next year, perhaps. He gives you some depth at some other positions. But you're right. I mean, he's getting looks before a Mike Caliendo or a C.J. Hansen. These are, or Godric. These are guys that we would have thought heading into camp would have been first look at guard before. So I view it as a positive. I know I get what you're saying, which is, hey, why are these other guys not getting snaps above him? I think this is great because in the future, 2027 and beyond, they've got a player maybe that can play a couple positions for them. That might be a starter. He's learning a lot at camp this year. We'll see him in preseason, I bet, quite a bit.
I'm not penciling him in, but he already feels like at least a 60% chance of being a starter next year.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Moore is on the last year of his deal, and if they really do think he can play right tackle, then they'll keep him at right tackle. At the very least, maybe they got I'll say this, if they just got a swing guard, swing tackle as an undrafted free agent off the street, it's a hit. We're talking about a player with very low expectations going into it.
Our training camp coverage is presented by Yingling Flight. Football season starts here. Reach for Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. Enjoy responsibly. We'll get to a little what's trending. We'll also hear what Travis Kelce has to say. And if we have some time, some craziness from LaShawn McCoy next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Men, when addressing the problem of erectile dysfunction, you want the right treatment for your specific medical situation because every case is different, and finding the right treatment can mean the difference between just an okay experience and an amazing one. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and at our practices, we offer the full range of ED treatment protocols and can even combine therapies to help make those intimate moments special both for you and your partner. At Heartland Men's Health, we take great pride in providing excellent care and treatment options for ED. Our medical providers specialize in men's sexual health and understand that no two cases are alike, which means you'll get the right treatment for you based on sound medical evaluation and appropriate applications of medical therapies. Plus, we offer treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most men, you'll get your sex life back. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99. It includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Back to school is here, and your life just got busy. Skip one stop on your to-do list with Hy-Vee online shopping. Order groceries on the Hy-Vee app or at Hy-Vee.com. Choose pickup or delivery, and let us do the shopping for you. One less errand, one more win for busy families. And don't forget, Hy-Vee Perks helps you save even more with Fuel Saver rewards and exclusive deals. Back to school made easier, only at Hy-Vee.
There's nothing like Chiefs game day, and whether you're hosting a crowd or keeping it low-key, you gotta be ready. Get everything you need for game day in one easy stop at Hy-Vee. Grab ribs, wings, party trays, dips, and those amazing Chiefs-themed cookies and cakes. Plus a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. They even have official Chiefs gear in every size and style for the whole family, so you're repping red on game day. Order online for pickup or delivery and let Hy-Vee do the shopping. It's a total game changer. Elevate your Chiefs game day only at Hy-Vee.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Dane and Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're gonna love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dane and Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
I scream. You scream. We all scream. Because Wendy's famous small classic Frosty is just $1 for a limited time. More screaming, happy screaming, summer screaming, dollar small classic Frosty screaming! But please don't scream in the drive-thru. It hurts the employees' ears. Get a $1 small classic Frosty for a limited time, only at Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. A la carte only, not valid for delivery. Limit 10 per transaction. Price may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back-end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, we continue broadcasting live in St. Joe. This was the last padded practice of the week as they get set for their preseason game on Saturday against the Rams. You can, of course, hear it right here on 96.5 The Fan. Tomorrow they have practice if you're coming up here, but no pads. It'll probably be a lighter, shorter practice, and then there's no practice on Friday. Some other news injury-wise today, Nick Bolton left, but it was just an illness, so that's a positive considering what you're always wondering it could be. Jared Wiley dealing with a hamstring injury, Peter Woods an ankle injury, although that appeared to be pretty minor for Peter Woods.
Yeah.
Otherwise, same story with everybody else. Montford Lane, yellow non-contact jersey, Drew Tranquil still just walking around with back spasms, although Nate Taylor also kind of hinting that we kind of expected. Yeah, he's a vet. They're just going to let him heal that thing up as much as he wants.
We also found out the Saturday broadcast crew will be Ari Wolf, Trent Green, and Kimmy Chex.
They've had that for a couple years now, I think.
Yeah. Same crew it has been. Nothing different, at least on the game against the Rams.
On the TV side, obviously, you can just listen to Mitch Holthus, the company
right here
on radio.
On 96.5 The Fan. Royals over on 610 a.m. The Jonas Brothers will headline the halftime show during the Melbourne-Australia game between the 49ers and the Rams on Friday, September 11th, and then again on Thursday, September 10th. They'll do a couple of live concerts. Not surprising, these big music concerts become a thing, especially for these one-off international games, because this is the first one ever in Australia, right? We haven't had another one in Australia yet, have
No,
we?
it is the first one.
This is the first one in Australia. That's what I thought. So it'll be interesting to see. That is an early start. You big Jonas Brothers guy, Drew? You're young enough. Maybe you would have remembered.
I remember the Jonas Brothers, like from Disney Channel and stuff like that.
Do you remember like the girls swooning over the Jonas Brothers when you were? Because it was like Devin Sawa and JTT and
if it was Nick
NSYNC or
Jonas,
Backstreet Boys when I was a kid. It was the Jonas Brothers, I assume, when you were a kid.
Yeah, particularly Nick Jonas. Yeah, everybody loved Nick Jonas.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, the Lakers have been sold again. If you're saying, wait, weren't they just sold? Yes. In fact, 12 months ago, the Lakers have been sold to Josh Kushner and Bob Iger for a record-breaking price over $12 billion. The individual that purchased them a year ago was by the name of Mark Walter. He purchased them for $10 billion, so you could do the math. They're just a nice, quick $2 billion return in 12 months.
Not bad. Not bad. I mean, if anybody could return that kind of investment in any other circumstance, you'd probably be good. Next up on What's Trending, the Royals will do Game 3 against the Dodgers tonight. Daniel Lynch will make his second start after returning to the rotation and against them tonight. They dropped 5, 4, and 10 last night. It was another, maybe not as quite much the bullpen as Vern was saying. Urset gave up the run, but they didn't score in the top of the 10th either. So it was a loss for the Royals last night. They're back in action tonight. You can hear that right here on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
That's What's Trending. And after practice today, Travis Kelce spoke to the media, talked for a good 10 minutes not just about football, but also he was asked about his wedding, being married. He was asked about some of the young players, and here's what he had to say after practice today.
It was a fun off season, man. Wedding was the best night of my life, and I appreciate everybody who came out and celebrated and had fun with us. And that's about all I really got from that night. It was a crazy night. It was full of a lot of celebration, but it's football, baby.
Last year, you joked about spending a year of your life in the dorms. Now it'll be a year and a month, I guess. Is there something about it that you look forward to?
I mean, it's always going to be my sanctuary. I think St. Joe's got a special place in my heart. A time in you need to have these days. You need to have this time of grinding with the guys, being around them all day, every day. You start to create that chemistry and that standard of how we're going to do things. And this year it's ramped up even more, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And man, it feels good to have the leaders out there, all feeling the same thing.
Trav, I talk to a lot of guys in pro sports, and they tell me when they get to the league, they want to do three things: win a championship, take care of their family, and stay healthy. You've been fortunate enough to do all three. What motivates you to still come out here and still want to play football?
I still got a lot of love for this game. I still think I can go out and play at a high level, and I want to go out there and prove myself that I can play at a better level than I did last year. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is making sure that I'm accountable for the guys in this room and every single play that I'm out there.
That's what motivates you. Change from year one to year 14.
I mean, year one I was just trying to make the team, I guess. So I think this year, not only making the team, but trying to figure out how I can bring guys along with me and show them how to play championship football. I think that's a big thing. And then be able to just, enjoy these moments with the guys that I've built this culture with, and Coach Reed and guys like Pat and Chris Jones and George and everybody. So. All aspects of football, man. Being more accountable when the ball's in the air. There were a few games last year that I feel like I put on myself. In the blocking world, being able to get my guys so we can spring guys for bigger gains. And then on top of that, just being a better leader, and when we get stuck in a with adversity hitting, who's going to be able to, who's going to want you in that foxhole with you. And that's one of those things that I want to be one of those guys that everybody counts on to be there and get us out of that foxhole.
Last year, is it already behind you? Is something that's still in mind?
The fact that we didn't make the playoffs, I moved on pretty quick. But I think once we get back into OTAs and right now, I think everybody feels everything's got to get turned up a little bit, and that's what you're seeing right now.
All of a sudden, this is Patrick's 10th season, and I just wonder if you might recall some of your first interactions with him, and maybe just the arc of your relationship with him since then.
One of the most surprising things you'll ever find out about playing with Pat Mahomes is the guy's got a good cadence. There's some with the frequency of his voice, and when he says it really gets you to. So everybody just got to mentally, when you're tired, you really got to lock in because that frequency it get you to jump no matter what. It's a good cadence. Everybody knows I love that guy. That's a brother to me. I'm so proud of the way he handled adversity from last year to right now. Obviously, we still got about a month, less than a month till the first game. But if you see him out here, man, you see him enjoying the game, competing at a high level, not thinking about the knee. And he's playing his tail off right now and leading us is the biggest thing. Is when you get your leaders out there, your best players out there, and they're setting the tone, setting the standard of the team. As long as 1-5's out there doing that, man, we're going to be a good football team.
Obviously, he's grown in so many ways, but do you see some parts of him that you value because he's still the same guy?
I would say the accountability to everybody around him. There's one thing everybody's, you can either, lead by example or lead with your voice. I think he's been more prone to, obviously he's always led by example, but to hold somebody accountable man to man and try and get the best out of them without them turning on you, things like that, especially in the dog days at camp, you can get real ugly mentally, but I think Pat does an unbelievable job of that, and it's been one of those things that's gotten better and better over the years, just as he holds me accountable, Feeling ready to rock and roll. I mean, third day in camp for, I think, 9 day in pads, third day in pads this week. Body feels good. I was able to finish in a strong way, and just trying to make sure I set that example for the guys around me to know that, this is the standard.
What are your impressions of Ken Walker?
Woo! Ken Walker's going to be a hell of a ball player for us, if you didn't know that already. He's got every trait you could possibly want at the running back position. And on top of that, his mentality, how smart he is, his physicality, his aggression, and how he runs with the football and just plays the game. I can't say enough about him as a teammate. We got an absolute superstar on and off the field in 9.
Travis, Eric ended back, and we talked to you about that earlier, but now gone through some camp with him. What has he brought being back here with you guys, especially for the guys who haven't been around him?
One, you got intensity. Intensity is the first thing, and that intensity is infectious. It makes you want to scream at everybody doing the wrong thing, and I love one of my favorite things about him. I don't think there's enough of that in the world, let alone in this building, and I think EB's one of those guys where his accountability is going to piss you off, but if you treat it the right way and you act the right way or respond the right way with it, you're going to become better of it, and it's going to make the team a better team because of it. And it's one of those things that I think we really missed here in Kansas City.
So that last year you talked about, it was kind of a weird year last year. Was that something that maybe wasn't there?
1,000%. And that's not to say that, it was on anybody specific. I'd put my hand in the air and I say, there were things that I could have done better in that regard. And it's one of those things that I'm working on. It's not just going to be Bieniemy out here holding people accountable. It's the guys that are doing it the right way, holding people accountable too.
How excited are you to bring that connection back with Mahomes?
considering how last season ended?
Say it again.
How excited are you to bring that connection back with Mahomes, considering how last season ended?
I mean, we got a lot of great players on this offense, man. It's not just me. I think, we got some young guys that can play in Cyrus Allen, Jay Royals. Obviously, Quan is coming back. He's looking great running down the field. And we got Xavier Worthy, who, if you see him in the offseason, we just got to give him a little healthy right now. But that he's a man on a mission right now. And I love the way he's working and his attention to detail and how he's running his routes. And just, the aggression that he's running his routes in. When we get him back out here, man, we'll be a full arsenal. And I think Pat has done an unbelievable job of not only getting himself ready for here, but working with these receivers and making sure that everybody's, living up to that standard of how we're going to play this year. And you can't forget Rashee Rice, man. Rashee Rice is out here working his tail off, trying to get right as well. And we love for getting out here and getting through these dog days, knowing he's coming off a knee surgery.
Last few guys, Nick, go ahead. Travis, for you, what did the moment mean? Because you watched sports since you were a little kid. What did the moment mean to be in that venue, Madison Square Garden, for the most important?
MSG, man. I always told myself I'd go for a playoff game when the Knicks were rocking. And my wife went when I was stuck in a mini camp, so I didn't get my opportunity to go then. So it's kind of cool to be able to, live out my childhood dream of being in that venue and, the mecca of all sports venues, being able to get married in there. Can't thank, the owners of MSG for allowing us to get the opportunity to do that, knowing that we wanted a private event and everything. So it was perfect. And the AC was cooking, baby. That was the best part.
These past few years with the podcast with your brother, I guess, what does it mean that you're going to have these memories with him of kind of discussing, what could be the latter years of your career, recorded and sharing those with him?
Man, it's a blessing in disguise, man. I had no idea it would get to this point, that is new heights and then how big it's gotten. I'm so fortunate that, my brother was, on board with being able to do this, because it's not only, giving us another avenue of way of life, but and a broader audience and things that we want to do off the field, but it's brought us closer and given us a certain amount of time throughout the week that you just get to sit down and bro. So it's memories I'll never forget. Every single time we jump on, we're laughing for 4 hours. It's only supposed to be a 2-hour recording. We're laughing for another 2.5. So it's a beautiful thing. Obviously the first year we did it, we went to the Super Bowl, played each other in the Super Bowl, and that will be the most magical year, knowing that, we got to put our family on display in a way that we hadn't before. But to be able to keep doing this and get the guests that we're doing, we're just so thankful, and we want to be able to tell everybody's story as well as ours.
Last one, Sam.
Travis, I call it Sanctuary or Sanctuary. I just wonder if this being up here prompts you to reflect on the other times you've been up here and what you guys see.
I'll tell you what, I like to play the old man and just tell everybody how good we got it when they like to complain about the cat food and driving all the way up here and what the conditioning test used to be to what it is now, and how many plays the long drive drill was back then and now what it is now. And not that Andy's getting soft on us, but just a different day and age, man. But it's fun to reflect in those kind of ways, just and kind of poke fun at the young guys for complaining about how things are and how hard it is to be an NFL football player and, the beauty of it all. So, like I said, this place has a special place in my heart. A lot of it is due to the fans coming up here and showing love every single day. It doesn't go unnoticed. A lot of times that gets you through the dog days and the tough days. And, it's definitely some place that I'll always remember when I think about football.
So that was Travis Kelce after practice. A lot of reflection there, going through about his time up in St. Joe. And yes, training camp was different when he started. The rules are a little bit different. And so he said he's kind of being the old guy, reminding the young players how good you still have it, especially compared to what they had a few years back at the beginning of Travis Kelce's career. And then, again, as we started at 1 o'clock hour, I think the most notable thing out of what he had to say was, once again, the team, the accountability aspect from last year, and said that Eric Bieniemy brings the missed accountability. He brings that 100. He said, what do you say? 1,000% is what the Chiefs missed last year was the accountability.
Yeah, honestly, maybe it was the theme of the offseason and everything else. And I think, but here's the thing. I think some of the discipline got lost because they started losing. And when you lose, and Travis said it in this same thing, Gold, which is, I got to make sure I'm a better leader when things are going poorly. And that is always the more difficult thing for any leader or any person in charge is how to keep everyone focused and all together when things are falling apart. This is the first time things had gone south for the Chiefs. This is the first time anything had gone really wrong for the Chiefs in, totality in the entire Andy Reid era. I mean, genuinely. Maybe the second year when they won 9 games and missed the playoffs. Other than that, they were just in the AFC Championship game, in a Super Bowl, whatever, right? That's it. And so, this is the season that actually came up to bite them. So it's a little bit difficult, at least on that end. Meanwhile, in the NFL, we get crazy stuff happening as well. Did you see LaShawn McCoy's comments?
I did.
Do you agree with his statement?
No.
Okay. Would you like to hear it?
Let's play what LaShawn McCoy had to say on his podcast about Antonio Brown and comparing him to some of the all-time greats.
This might sound crazy, but Jerry Rice or AB, I'm taking AB. Yeah.
What did you just say?
Jerry Rice or Antonio Brown? I'm taking Antonio Brown.
Keep going.
I don't care.
Thank you guys for watching the Speakeasy.
Boys out the mud. We got LaShawn McCoy.
What?
Bro,
I'm not going to get distracted.
Y'all can't. All right, that's one. Two is y'all acting like, what am I saying wrong? What can Jerry Rice do that AB can't do?
Jerry Rice got, 3 Super Bowls?
What?
He
Super Bowl.
22,000 yards.
The Super Bowl.
He's got,
Jerry Rice
he had a 1,000-yard receiving season at 42, bro. 42.
Yeah, my man. And you don't think AB can do that? See, y'all talking like that because AB's career.
Yes, your career makes you.
What's it? You're talking like that because of AB's career. Yeah, that's kind of how this whole thing works.
Versus, Jerry Rice's career. Jerry Rice has more postseason touchdowns than I think Antonio Brown had regular season.
Jerry Rice had, and look, Antonio Brown
had a nice career. He might be a Hall of Famer.
Had a really great career, honestly, and yeah, maybe his Hall of Famer
because of the crazy,
all the craziness after. But Jerry Rice had more yards and touchdowns after the age of 30. Than Antonio Brown had in his entire career.
Yeah, it's not even a debate. It's not even a debate.
It is absolute ludicrous for anybody, especially a guy that played in the league, to suggest confidently, I guess, that Jerry Rice is the better pick than Antonio Brown.
Someone said that was the CTE talking.
Has to be. Holy cow.
I mean, genuinely, I can't understand it. This is what has made it so impressive that Travis Kelce has passed some of the Jerry Rice postseason stuff and has a chance to pass more if they're to go to the postseason again. Jerry Rice played in 29 postseason games. In just postseason games. Man. Do you know how many receiving touchdowns he had in the postseason? 22! That's good for some people's 4 or 5, 6-year career in the NFL. What are we doing here? That's just postseason. Just in the postseason, he had 22 touchdowns and 2,245 yards.
His podcast needed some more attention, I guess.
I don't know.
We gave it to him. I think it's called Speakeasy or something.
You can say something controversial without saying something just wrong. There isn't even actual, a debate for it. You could, if you tried to, make it in the very micro. You'd still lose this debate. Like saying Antonio Brown at his single best season, at his single best, was better than I saw Jerry Rice's best. It's still wrong, but at least maybe there's, some technicality. Maybe he had more yards per catch or something. I don't know.
Look up.
Jerry Rice's best season 20 touchdowns and 2,000 yards or something insane.
Jerry Rice was 40 in 2002 with the Raiders. 40. And he had a 1,200-yard season.
Which is crazy.
He was 40 years old. Antonio Brown is what? 30-something, and this guy's all kinds of problems now. 38 years old. Not even close to the career. Antonio Brown had a hell of a career.
Jerry Rice's best season was either the season where he had 1,483 yards and 17 touchdowns, 1,503 yards and 15 touchdowns, 1,848 yards and 15 touchdowns. You make your choice, Whichever one of those you think are the best season of his career, by the way, where he had either 1,800 yards or 1,600 yards and led the NFL in touchdowns. His best season, Antonio Brown, he had 1,533 yards and 9, 1,297 and 15, or 1,698 and 13.
He did have 1,800 in a season, too.
No, and Antonio Brown had a great year, but you can't compare him. You can't compare him to Jerry Rice. And then LaShawn McCoy at the end made no sense. He's like, look at his career. Your career makes you. Yes, exactly.
I think it's
don't know
tough
what-
to see a career makes you because Jerry Rice played 8 more seasons. So it's almost like a LeBron MJ conversation. I'm not saying that
I
this
don't
is the
think so,
conversation,
but
but
yeah.
in terms of, well, Jerry was just better because he played longer. I think that's a lot of the.
He was just better because of everything.
Yeah, I understand why Shady actually brings it up because it's like, what could he do that Jerry could, or what? If you're just looking at it from his numbers perspective,
If you paced out what he did from 22 to 30
if you
and replicated it from 31 to 40, I guess they'd be close.
Yeah, they actually
But he
would
didn't.
be
His career was
relatively
over
close.
when he was 30.
Exactly, which is where I think the longevity aspect, obviously, and how good Jerry was post 40 still is what makes the argument.
He's a much more interesting case for should he be a Hall of Famer. Because Antonio Brown,
Antonio
without
Brown's
a
a Hall of
doubt,
Famer.
for a 5 to